Guys, can you hear me? Salute to all of you guys. I'm so glad that you guys are in the building. Um, Welcome to Lapeef Politics. You already know. You already know. You already know. I'm the chaotic truth, and today more or less isn't about politics. I actually wanted to do an episode about Indonesia and their current ban. Their ban that passed on their premarital sex ban that passed today. Basically, in the country of Indonesia, which is an Southeast or a Southeast Asian country, it is the most Muslim country on the planet. They've banned premarital sex. So a lot of you degenerate passport bros, unfortunately, are asked out because you will not be able to legally go over there and get prostitutes like a lot of you do. But anyway, nevertheless, I wanted to do a show about that. But the trending news right now is about Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders, legendary football player, arguably one of the greatest, if not in the top five, one of the greatest defensive players in the NFL of all time. Took on a coaching job, a very controversial coaching job at the University of Colorado Boulder, a $30 million contract. But before I get into that, I want to say peace and prosperity to everybody in the chat. Positivity is definitely coming your guys' way. I wish nothing but the best for you guys. I see that we have Anthony in the building. Anthony says he's in the same position as Jackie Robinson when Jackie left the Negro League because of money and breaking the racial barrier. It's a hard decision to make, but HBCUs could have had a piece of money. Salute to you, Anthony Wright. Positivity is definitely coming your way. We have JQ in the building. Says, good afternoon, CT. Positivity is definitely coming your way, sir. Granddad Jess says, yes, he sold out. Gary says, good afternoon. Chaotic positivity is definitely coming your way. Here for the tea. What's up? Says, chaotic is hilarious. I just started following him. Salute to you. Here for the tea. We have Eddie Robinson. I'm not Eddie Robinson. Excuse me. We have Ladriat Park says Eddie Robinson stayed, and he was one of the greatest coaches of all time. He was one of the greatest HBCU coaches of all time, not one of the greatest coaches of all time. Here goes the thing. Hear me out. Now, if you follow my show, The Chaotic Truth, if you follow my show, when I receive donations or when I receive super chats, Cash Apps, PayPal's. I've always played Deion Sanders, his famous rap song, Must Be the Money. Now, Must Be the Money was a song that, for a lot of you who don't know, somebody just text me. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me turn this off real quick. Oh, let me turn this off. For all of you who don't know, Deion Sanders was a rapper in the 90s. In the 90s, a lot of athletes were rappers. It was so funny. But Deion Sanders not only was a MLB player, a Major League Baseball player, obviously NFL player, but he also was a rapper. Him and MC Hammer used to rap. They've had a few songs. I remember one of them was Humps and a Bump. Um, Nice songs, good songs. But he had a song called Must Be the Money. And I played that song because Deion Sanders was a very, very, very famous individual in the 90s. I was a kid in the 90s. I grew up on the Dallas Cowboys. I remember watching their legendary 3 Super Bowl runs. And Deion Sanders was a part of the Cowboys. He was part of the Falcons. I think he retired with the Redskins, but if anybody can correct me on that one, please do. But I would argue that Deion Sanders was just as famous as Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson, etc. He's always been about the money. He's always been about the popularity. He's always been about the fame. He's always been about Deion Sanders. I don't remember Deion Sanders ever being a individual that talked about Pan-Africanism, talked about the black community. And truth be told, in the 90s, you didn't really hear a lot of that back then. And to a degree, I don't think that there was anything wrong with that. Deion Sanders grew up in a single parent household. He grew up poor. However, his athleticism allowed him to reach heights of society that most people do not reach. The man is super talented. And in my opinion, he doesn't owe anybody anything. Just me. It's just me saying he doesn't owe anybody anything. And when he went to Jackson State, I knew that this was, whatever he said, I'm paraphrasing now. Well, him building up HBCUs, him doing this, I knew it was all cap. And not to say that it was malicious or anything like that. I just knew it was cap because I knew who Deion Sanders was in the 90s. And an individual like that is always going to be interested in self-preservation. He has 10 children, 5 biological. If I'm not mistaken, he has 5 adopted children on top of that. The man has mouths to feed. And as much as people think that Deion Sanders is just this multi-millionaire, guys, everybody in this country wants to get to the next level. And I knew when he took that job, he wanted to get to the next level. Coaching at HBCUs is pretty much coaching at a 13th grade, to be completely honest with you. I didn't go to an HBCU. However, I knew individuals who went to HBCUs. I've been visiting HBCUs since the 90s. I've visited Morehouse, Spelman, Morris Brown, Clark Atlanta, Howard. I've been going to Atlanta since 1996. And I can tell you this, man, other than the Black Greeks, aka the Divine Nine, the Black Bands, there is no football culture at the HBCUs. There is no football culture. There is no TV culture in terms of watching the games. There's no social culture in terms of going to the bars to watch the games. And to be honest with you, when he took that job at Jackson State, I was surprised that he stayed there a year. I was shocked. I thought that after that 1 year, he'd be out. I was shocked that he's been there for 3 years. He bought them exposure. He bought them money. And it's time to move on. If the HBCUs benefited from him being there for those 3 years. He did more for Jackson State in 3 years than any other coach has ever done for Jackson State, respectfully. And the fact of the matter is that the HBCUs have been here for almost 200 years, and they will continue to survive. The fact is that use this as a blueprint, and there's nothing stopping people from supporting the games. Now, with streaming services, you can order HBCUs at the click of your finger. So him leaving means absolutely nothing. Nothing stopping you from ordering ESPN and just ordering the games. But let's be completely honest with you. Nobody watches the Harvard and Yale games either. Nobody watches lower tier football. I'm not a big football fan, but I know the difference. And the fact of the matter is that the HBCUs, particularly Jackson State, should have been lucky that they got Travis Hunter, who was the number one high school recruit. They should, to be completely honest with you, they should have been happy. They should have been happy that Deion Sanders even came there and graced them with their presence, to be honest with you. Let's see here. Who's in the chat real quick? I don't want to miss anybody. The link is dropped early. Let's see here. Let me see. It's hold on for a second. Okay, it's too many messages for me to read, but guys, I will right now. It's too many messages right now. I will only read super chats. Salute to everybody that's in the chat. Salute to everybody that supports the Lapeef Network. The link is dropped. If you want to call in, you feel free to give your questions. Feel free to give your feel free to ask questions. Feel free to give your comments or concerns. But guys, let's be completely honest with you. He wants to be at a power. He wanted to be at a Power 5. I already knew that. Colorado used to be a top tier school in the 90s. Let's not forget, that's where Cordell Stewart went to. Cordell Stewart. That's where Ray Caruth. You know, Ray Caruth. So many good football players have come out of Colorado. I want to say the year that Caruth came out, which was what, 98? It was about 7 draft picks. I think the year following was about 6. Colorado has always been a school that has produced NFL players. The fact of the matter is that nobody has ever said, I want to go to the... No, but listen, let's be honest with you, man. The HBCUs are never going to be on caliber with O State, Alabama, Georgia, Michigan. Never. They're never going to be on caliber with them. And it's, in my opinion, it's just like with the WNBA. All the women, not all the women, but most of the women who complain about the salary difference between them and LeBron, they're complaining and they're saying that it's a chauvinistic, it's a patriarchal system. But the fact of the matter is that the fans determine how much you get paid. You don't have the caliber of play. You don't have the culture. And the truth of the matter is that the very people that you want to, the very people that you are trying to market to don't support you. You would think that 30 million people black people in the country would support the HBCUs in terms of football. Nobody does. When I go out on Saturdays to watch college football, I see black people, and black people have on Michigan shirts. Black people have on jerseys, Black people have on Ohio State jerseys. Black people have on Miami jerseys. They don't have on Mary Bethune-Cookman College, and they never will. The fact of the matter is that it's nothing wrong with admitting that the bands are popular at the HBCUs, not football. The fact of the matter is that Shador, who is Deion Sanders' son, and he knows this. And listen, I went to a historically white college. The fact of the matter is that these young black boys want to be around white people, and they do. They want to be around white girls. They want to be on campus, and it's 19, 20, 21-year-old blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girls walking on campus, showing them love. They don't want to be on campus with a whole bunch of black girls looking like Harriet Tubman. They just don't. They don't. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be a shock jock. I'm just being honest with you. I went to a PWI. I went to PWI for my bachelor's degree, and I went there for my master's degree. I went to 2 different PWIs. And I could tell you, the football players, black boys who play football, they like the limelight. They like the popularity. At PWIs, which are predominantly white universities or institutions, or I call them historically white colleges, the hierarchy is different from an HBCU. The hierarchy is the football team, number 2, which is not even close, but number 2 is the basketball team, and number 3, you might have Greeks, and that's inclusive of the black and white Greeks. But the fact of the matter is that those black boys at Jackson State, they want juice. They want the same popularity that their coach had when he was in college. They want juice, and you don't get juice at no HBCU. Ain't nobody, listen, those Shador ain't walking on Jackson State, and he got 50, 100 girls coming over to him because he plays football. There is no culture for football there. Not at no Jackson State. Let's cut the cap. And I know a lot of people, oh, hold on, we got super chats. Give me a second. The truth with the $5 super chat says, What hurt HBCU is in football, they don't play for a national championship, which is dumb. Titles, exposure. They can't play for a national championship. The truth, they get mopped. They don't have the best players go to the Power Fives. The best players are recruited by the Power Fives. The best players only go to the Power Fives. I was shocked that Travis Hunter, to truth be told, I was shocked. And most of the nation that follows college football was shocked that Travis Hunter went there. But most top tier football players go to O State. They go to Michigan. They go to Miami. They don't go to these lower tier substandard football programs. They don't. They don't go to listen, I already said that even the Ivy Leagues, they don't go to the Ivy Leagues. So no, they would never be able to compete for a national championship. They would get killed. They would absolutely get killed. Listen, Kent State, in 2017, played Ohio State. Kent State is in the MAC, not even a Power 5. Kent State, which is a white school, they got mopped by Ohio State 66-0. So at HBCU would have a hard time playing against Kent State. So what do you think will happen if HBCU played against a Power 5 school like Ohio State? They get mopped 200-0. Let's be honest. It's no point. It's dumb. You listen, if you want a major, listen, I'm not trying to be a coon, Uncle Tom, whatever you all want to call me. The link is dropped. But let's be honest, man. If you want to play football, to be honest with you, if you want to play football, you try your best to get into a Power 5. You try your best to get to Colorado, Nebraska, O State, something like that, Alabama. You don't go to no Garbo school, like especially HBCU to play football. Listen, if you want to pledge Alpha Phi Alpha, if you want to pledge Kappa Alpha Psi, if you want to pledge Omega Psi Phi, if you want to be in a black band, Kappa Kappa Psi, yeah, go to all the black schools you want. Go to Martin Luther King University, go to Madam C.J. Walker University, go to Medgar Evers University. Fine. That's the culture there. But don't take your ass to no HBCU thinking that you're about to be on ESPN1 and millions of people on Saturday eating wings and drinking a beer are going to watch it. They're not. No white man has ever said in his right mind, yeah, honey, let's take the kids to Buffalo Wild Wings or Applebee's. Let's watch the Mary Bethune-Cookman College versus Medgar Evers game. No, because they didn't grow up watching that. And neither did most black people. With Real Bravado Network, with the $10 super chat, says Deion stated that he doesn't want to coach at the NFL level. No, he doesn't. I assume that Deion Sanders wants to get a national championship, and I think that's only befitting. Guys, there's too many chats for me to read. I'm only doing super chats, guys. I can only do super chats today. I respect everybody's comments, but I can't read everybody's comments today, guys. Salute to you guys. Happy Tuesday. I love you guys, man. I know this is not a traditional political show, but we got to talk about what's trending. The truth, again, with the $5 super chat, says they can't compete in their division. They can compete in their division for a title. They're playing against FCS schools, not Power 5 schools. I play ball. They have a talent for that level also. No, they don't have the truth. No, they don't. No, they don't. There's no HBCU. There is no HBCU right now that can play and legitimate. If Howard played Ohio State, it'd be a murder scene. Ohio State would mop the floor with any HBCU. It'd be 300-0. It's no way in hell. It's a size difference. It's a talent difference. It's a difference, a coaching difference. It ain't happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. And I don't like how we pretend. We pretend as a people. Not people as black people. We pretend as a people like, oh yeah, Coastal Carolina can play Ohio State, and no, it won't be a game. It won't be a game. They have to get the ambulance. There's a size difference. There's an offensive line difference in terms of size. It's not going to happen. But thank you so much, The Truth. Guys, the link is dropped. Guys, $20 from John the Baptist. Salute to you, man. You get the Must Be the Money from Deion Sanders. You know, ever since I turned pro in 1989, when I signed that dotted line, it was strange. Must be the money. Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? I gotta read this one. I gotta read one comment though. Non super chat comment. Alonzo says all the black people who graduated from an HBCU hardly donate. Going to the games as homecoming does nothing. Put your money where your mouth is. Listen, guys. Ohio State, for example, has a $20 billion endowment. Colorado has a $6 billion endowment. And then you get Jackson State, Little Africa. Would they have a $50 million endowment? Listen, there's not enough money that's being funneled into the sports programs, let alone the football program. It ain't happening. It just ain't happening. Listen, did you see Deion Sanders and his girlfriend? What's her name? Babyface, Tracy Edmond. Did you see his daughters and how they looked when they were in the Colorado facility, that $100 million facility? Did you see their looks on their faces? They were smiling from ear to ear. They don't have that at Jackson State. You know what they have at Jackson State? Little Africa. That's what they have there, unfortunately. It's just a difference. And the fact is that the writing has always been on the wall. And I got to keep saying this, and I got to bring race into it. Black people don't want to be around black people either. The first 2 weeks Deion Sanders was at Jackson State, he got his car broken into, got his office broken into, Shador got his car broken into. It's too much. It's not enough safety on those black campuses. It's not enough security around the campuses. There's not enough resources. Hell, the field. Deion Sanders was only getting paid $300,000 a year. $300,000 a year, right? Are you out of your mind? Are you seriously out of your mind? First of all, he donated most of his salary to fix the damn field. He said the field was unplayable. How do we know the field is unplayable? We have a former Hall of Fame athlete telling us that the field is on. Listen, if a Hall of Fame athlete is telling you that the field is bad, then obviously the field is bad because he played 14 years in the damn NFL. Obviously, he knows what caliber grass is needed, what caliber dirt is needed, what the leveling of the field. The truth with the $5 super chat says you not getting it. It said you're not getting it. They not playing those schools. Is Division I, not bowl series, large schools. They can meet Missouri State, bro. No, listen, you're talking about the national championships. I thought you were talking about that. P. Rothstein 216 with the $10 super chat says Deion did right. He is a father. He just put his star quarterback son on a higher level. CT, I'm from Ohio to Ohio. Thank you so much, man. Sign that dotted line. And all I'm saying is that, listen, all the alumni that go to these HBCUs, how come they didn't listen? Hold on for a second. Not even just alumni from these schools. I see you in the back, guys. Give me a second. Not even just black alumni. All these black millionaires in the country, all these black billionaires in the country, all these black institutions in the country. You mean to tell me that they can't funnel money into these HBCUs? They can't funnel all these monies and add to the endowment? That's the problem. That's the problem. My thing is that why does it have to take Deion Sanders to come to a school and all of a sudden everybody wants to come to these games at the stadium? Why? Why can't they just do that on their own accord? I support Deion Sanders. I know I didn't play organized football, but I seen the economics behind it. I seen how even at PWIs that don't even have a great football program, I seen how the economics work, how the restaurants benefit, how the police force benefits, how the parking benefits, how the people selling hot dogs and stuff like that on the sidewalk benefit, the concession stands, the people selling tea. I see how it all benefits, and you don't get that at HBCUs. You're going to get that at a historically white university. You're going to get that at historically a PWI, predominantly white institution. And the fact is that, listen, man, I support Deion, man. Listen, and like I said before, Shador is 20 years old. He want to be around white girls. Let's be honest, man. Come on. You could cut that crap with me. I already know. Man, you can cut that with me. I've been on O State campus. I've been on Kent State's campus. Did I lose the mic? I've been on so many campuses. I could tell you those black boys, they want to be around pretty blonde girls. They don't want to be around no girls who look like Esther Rowe. They don't want to do it. And listen, man, most of these campuses aren't even that damn big. These HBCUs, man. These HBC, Jackson State, has 5,000 kids that go there? So you can say half of them are females. That's 2,000. What percentage of those girls are really smoking hot compared to a Colorado that has 50,000 kids? Half of that is 25,000. Think about the percentage, right? They're walking on campus. Think about how many pretty little white girls are going to be running up to them. Oh, she do it. That's what he really wants. Can you blame some young kid for wanting that? I can't. Hey, I can't knock it. I can't knock it, man. So, and listen, I've been on O State's campus. Thank you for that $2 super chat. The real gains 1911. I wonder if he's a Kappa. I'm not a Kappa. I just want to throw that sign. But salute, man. They want to be around white girls, man. They want to be on a nice, pretty campus, man. They want to be on a campus where it's nice, pretty birds flying and trees and shit. They don't want to be on no dirty ass campus with no pigeons and seagulls flying around. Stop. That's how a lot of those HBCUs are. Except for like, Morehouse is nice. Spelman's right across the street. But other than that, man, those HBCUs are absolutely trash, man. Let's be completely honest with you, man. And like I said before, ain't nobody going to those games, man. Ain't nobody going to those games other than to see the band. Yeah, honey, the band plays at about, the game starts at 10. The band probably get on at 11 o'clock. Let's come at 11. See, that's how blacks are. They ain't coming to see the game. They ain't coming to see how many yards Shador's throwing for. Let's be honest, man. We got to stop the cat. See all those white people that come to the game, they had their little books with them. They were like, yeah, he was 44 for 75 last game. What the? They'd be there doing all of that. They're really into the game for real. They're really into the analytics. Blacks aren't really into that, and there's nothing wrong with that. We're more into basketball. We're more into the analytics, the analytics of basketball. We're not really into the analytics of football. You ain't really been in no game and heard no blacks talk about the statistics and all that. You may hear a few, but you really hear that from white people. And that's what I'm saying, man. It's not a football culture at no HBCU, man. Yeah, honey, let's go to the Coretta Scott. You ain't never heard no white man talk about, let's go to the Coretta Scott game versus Coretta Scott versus Madam C.J. Walker College. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all can talk all that bullshit y'all want, man. But I know, man. I know. John the Baptist, what's up, man? You're on mute, sir. You're on mute. John the Baptist, you're on mute. Go ahead, sir. I can't hear you. We can't hear you, sir. We gotta keep it pushing. John the Baptist, go ahead, sir. John the Baptist going once. Going twice. I don't know what's going on with John the Baptist. But listen, man, the fact of the matter is that, listen, look, I know, man. I know a lot of y'all think that I'm coon and I'm being Uncle Tom, but this is an economics thing here. It really is, man. It really is. You got to think, man, how many people, black men, white men, grew up watching Ohio State, Michigan, grew up watching these big colleges for 2 and 3, 4 generations. It's just like with McDonald's or something like that. You grew up with this brand. You know how many years, you know how many generations it would take for people to fall in love with one of these HBCUs? It'd take generations. I know people who live in, on the West Coast. They put on O State jerseys to watch O State. I know people who live in on the East Coast of New York. They're watching Michigan. Ain't nobody listen. Because they grew up watching these teams. But then I was on a panel the other night and somebody was talking about some crazy stuff, talking about, they need to put these HBCU games on national TV. I'm like, what are you talking about? You put those national games on national TV? Ain't nobody listen. I've seen it firsthand. Hold on. The Real Games 1911 says, as a proud alum of JSU, we are thankful and we continue to support JSU. That's what I'm talking about, man. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, The Real Games, with the $5 super chat. But the fact of the matter is, man, ain't nobody, listen, man, y'all could pretend all y'all want, man, but I know, man. The Real Games, again, says, the problem is HBCUs aren't valued point blank, period. You as a black man don't even support black colleges and universities. I don't know. The thing is that we do support black colleges and universities. The problem is that there is no culture of football. Excuse me. There's no culture of football there. Listen, you could look this up yourself. A lot of the problems with these HBCUs is that a lot of the administration stifles the money. John the Baptist, what's up, man? You're on mute. John the Baptist, what's up? John the Baptist going once, going twice. I don't know what's going on with this individual. But no, I'm like I said, man. I'm not pretending. See, I don't pretend. I don't bullshit. I don't lie. I just tell the truth from the way I see it. And it's again using the WNBA analogy. Women don't support the W. Go up to any. You're probably most of you people are sitting with your girlfriends right now. Ask them, "Hey, honey, who's your favorite WNBA player?" I don't know. I don't know. They don't care about no WNBA, but I bet you they know everybody. I bet you your typical woman who don't even watch basketball, she can name 5 NBA players right now. Same thing with college football. Ask a black. Hey, black. Hey, don't call him that, but hey, black. Who's your favorite HBCU? I mean, I don't know. Then ask him, hey, who's your favorite college football team? Ohio State, Michigan. That I'm telling you, they don't want to support these small schools. Just like nobody supports the Ivy Leagues when it comes to football. Who says, hey, honey, let's go to the NCAA basketball game to watch Harvard? No, nobody watches these inferior programs. Now, if I want to watch a mathematics competition, yeah, sure, Harvard all the way. If I want to send my school, if I want to send my kid to school for academics, hell yeah, I'm choosing Harvard. But when it comes to drafting someone, I ain't drafting nobody from no Harvard. Because I know you ain't played against nobody. I know you ain't. It's an inferior basketball program. I got family members. I got younger family members who go to the Ivy Leagues. I'm not gonna name it. I ain't trying to get them docs. And two of them play for Ivy Leagues, and I don't watch their football games because it's trash. Your little cousin playing today. I ain't gonna take you to school. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm about to go watch the Ohio State game. I want to see real football. I don't want to see Garbo football. Okay. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. The link is dropped, man. John the Baptist again with the $5 super chat says, traveling across this country, weak signal. I will try later. Oh, okay. Thank you so much for that super chat. Ever since I turned pro in 1989, when I signed that dotted line, it was strange. Must be the money. Yeah. Let's be honest, man. Blacks are all the same. I don't care what level black people are at. I don't care what level white people are at. People want to be around nice things, nice resources. People want to be around, we're human beings. One of the things is safety. It was just a kid the other week. Deion Sanders actually tried to get the kid on the football team, got killed. It's like who wants to be on these college campuses? These little ghetto HBCU college campuses. I know I don't. What's up, man? Go ahead, wait, man. What's up, man? Go. What's up, man? Guys, you got to get these things corrected, man. What's up? We got to get this correct. I'm going to give you like a couple of more seconds, man. I'm going to get you up out of here. Go ahead. Okay, 1. All right, let's get you up out of here. I don't know what's going on. I know, like I said, man, a lot of you guys get offended by everything that I say, but the thing of the matter is that I know I'm telling the damn truth. And I went to college. I can tell you what it is, man. At those white universities, man, those football players, you go to a trash white university with a trash football team, your popularity increases. And a lot of young kids care about popularity, man. They don't care about that black stuff, man, that y'all trying to pretend that, oh, Deion Sanders is going to help the black folk. Man, get the fuck out of here. Stop it. Stop it. Don't nobody want to listen, man. Y'all can cut all that crap to me. Hold on for a second. Wait, man. What's up, man?
Hey, my bad, bro. I was just trying.
Did you go to HBCU, sir?
Nah, man. I'm actually trying to get my stuff together right now, man. So, nope,
Okay.
I didn't do none of that.
Okay, sir. What say you about Deion Sanders, sir? Let's be honest, sir. He want to be around white folk. Keep it real.
Oh yeah, I believe he do. I believe he
Keep
do,
it
and I'm
real.
not mad at him. I'm not mad at him at
It
all.
sounds like you're from the South. Where are you from in the South?
I'm from Washington D.C. You see the
Oh, okay.
Nationals,
From the
the
DMV.
Nationals
Okay.
background on the back.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So go
yeah,
ahead,
but no,
sir. You got the
I'm
floor.
not mad at him at all. I believe he did what he had to do. That's what everybody keeps saying. You clearly see the examples of when people go back to the hood, how that work out for him. So yeah, I believe that's my take, man.
Go ahead, sir. You got the floor.
That was pretty much all I had to say. For real. I'm not mad at him. I hear a lot of people saying they mad at him, but I'm not. So that's about it.
Who's your favorite college football team?
Virginia Tech,
Exactly. Are they Power
Michael Vick,
Five? Yeah, they're Power Five,
Michael
right?
Vick. Yeah, yeah. Virginia Tech, man. You remember Michael Vick days, man? His
Yeah,
brother was a
Malcolm.
little
Yeah,
crazy. His brother was a little crazy, but
yeah. That's like
yeah.
his brother, Marcus Vick. Yeah,
Yeah, he putting out guns at McDonald's and all this other stuff ruined his career.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, man. But nah,
Thanks,
nah.
man.
But
Go ahead.
I, I appreciate what you're doing, man. I tune in every day. Yeah, you this right here. I like what you're doing. Keep it up, man. I watch you on both your network and this network. So
Thank you so much, Walt. Thank you so much, sir.
just know that people like me watching, man. People like me watching. I'm tuning in.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Walt. Peace. AK Harrison, man. What's up, man? Let's be honest, sir. Why did Deion Sanders leave, man?
Because he a sellout, man.
Ooh, coming in.
He is
All right,
a
tell us why he a
sellout,
sellout. Go
man.
ahead. He a sellout. Go ahead.
He
Why is
sold,
he selling out?
man. He sold out the black community, bro.
Uh-huh. Go ahead. Go
He
ahead.
did. He did, man. You know what? When he first got the job, he went on this press run saying that he had a mission. That he was called by God. You know, hey, I'm here to change the culture. He was
Yeah.
there long enough to have a cup of coffee and a donut, bro. He's a sellout.
Can I ask you a question?
What's up, bro?
Okay, let me ask you a question. He's getting paid $300,000 a year at Jackson State, right?
That's a lot of money.
Okay. He has 10 children. He has 10 children, 10 mouths to
Okay.
feed, a girlfriend. He
Uh-huh.
has a mortgage,
Uh-huh.
and he has a pension from the NFL. I don't know how much money he has left from the NFL, but I know he still gets a pension. Is $300,000 a year enough?
If he wanted to pimp JSU, he could have just said that from the start. Hey, I'm here to pimp you guys. It's all about the money, and that's it. If he would have said that from the start, man, we would have been like, okay, you know what, Deion, get your money, do what you got to do, and thank you for your services. But no, 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 no. I'm here to change the culture. I'm here to promote the HBCU. I am swag. These are the words that came out of his mouth, CT.
That is true, but let me ask you a question though. It's,
Go ahead.
and you are a solo. You're a trucker, right?
I am.
Thank you so much, sir, for being the lifeblood of America.
Thank you.
Here goes the thing.
Go ahead.
What does he really owe the HBCUs, and particularly Jackson State?
What does he owe?
Yeah, what does he owe?
Just the truth. Just the simple
Okay.
truth. That's it.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know, that's it. If he was here, if he wanted the job just to build up his resume, just say that from the start. That's it.
Now, white coaches do it all the time, sir. They get a job and they go on to greater and better things. Why is it that Deion is selling out from your perspective? Now, I know you said that he talked about is God called him, but couldn't have God called him to be there for a few years and then go somewhere else better?
God called him to sell a bunch of bullshit.
Mm. Okay.
Come
Okay.
on, man. Hey, I was just watching some interviews last night from old prime time a couple
In
of
the back,
years
Isaac.
back, man.
In the back,
Oh,
Clarence.
okay.
Hey, AK, give me 1 second. Let me read the super chat real quick.
Go for
Blexicon,
it.
Black Lexicon with a $10 super chat says Deion proved to the country and Black Americans that great achievements we can reach through in work and hard work, believing and working together or alone, even against prevailing winds in bad circumstances. Exactly. John the Baptist also again with the $2 super chat says he only owe us his word. Now let me ask you this question, my good sir. There's a lot of people in the back. I see Isaac, I see Clarence, I see G
See,
Hargrove.
that's it. Just the
Now
truth.
let me ask you a question, AK. Did you go to
Go ahead.
and I'm not trying to I'm asking this out of respect. Did you go to university, my good sir?
I did.
Okay. Did you go to a predominantly white university or did you go to a HBCU?
HBCU,
Do you mind me asking which one?
Edward Waters College.
Okay, let's be completely honest, sir. You know there ain't no football culture there.
You know what?
No.
Whenever,
Go ahead. You talking to me,
hey,
sir.
hey,
I'm a Negro that went to college,
hey,
sir.
hey,
Go ahead.
hey,
Go ahead.
hey, hey.
Who was at the top of the
Greeks,
pecking order, sir?
Greeks,
Exactly. Exactly. And
band,
yep, keep going.
hey,
Negroes
the concert
don't
choir.
and the choir. And then it's probably the football team. And even then, they ain't
Sure.
that popular. Listen, he got Shador, his youngest son. He got Shiloh. You and I both know, sir, they
Yep.
want to be around white girls.
Hey, man.
Let's be completely honest,
everybody enjoys Snow Bunny every now and then, man.
It's
Those
like
pink
heaven.
toes. Can't be mad at
What I'm
that.
saying is that you saw the smile on their faces when they got on that campus, man. When they got off that plane.
Hey, skinning and grinning, how we say it, man.
So but you still think they sold out though?
Just say what it is off the top, man. You know what?
Go ahead. I gotta get to the next callers, man.
Here it is. Here it is. Here it is right here.
So you wouldn't leave your
The
job for
black
you wouldn't leave your job for $30 million to be around white folk.
Here it is. The black community feel like the scorned girlfriend when the boyfriend moves on, man. Like, yo, we were just having fun. We were just having fun. Now it's time to go. That's how we feel.
Yeah. AK Harrison, do me a favor. I want you to stay in the back, right? And there's a lot of people that are here. I'm gonna bring up a panel. Not right now. Give me about 10 minutes. Just stay in the back, okay?
Go ahead, CT.
But AK Harrison, I want to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
When have you ever heard a white man say, "Hey, honey, let's go watch the Medgar Evers versus Mary Bethune-Cookman College football game"? Or when have you ever heard a white man say, or when have you ever heard a black man say, "Let's go watch the Harvard versus Yale football game"? Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Have you ever heard of Steve McNair?
Yes, sir. I know he's HBCU. Rest in peace. Yes. Okay, you get your outliers, you get your Walter Paytons, you get your Jerry Rices, but you don't really get a lot of those. Let's be honest. But hold on, stay in the back though for a minute, AK Harrison. I want to stay in the back because this is gonna be a good one. I actually want to bring up a panel because there's a lot of people in the back, and you guys probably know more football than I certainly do. What's up, Isaac? Did you go to Jackson State?
Proud alum.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Did Deion Sanders sell out?
So the word sellout is very controversial. I would say that what Deion did was very a great thing that he brought to Jackson State. The football program was kind of in a downward spiral for a couple of years. He brought life to not only the the football team, but the city of Jackson as a whole. The hope that he did give us with his words, him saying that to level the playing field, to sooner or later compete with those PWIs and those Power 5 schools is what I think people, what I know people are actually mad at. We're not mad at the fact that he went and elevated. We're happy to see that, right? But what we are disappointed in the fact is that we always have to elevate to the white side of better. I guess that's how we're taking it. As a proud alum from Jackson State, I do give back. We all know that a lot of people don't give back as good as they could. But what
Yeah,
we do is what we do try to do is try to give back as much as we can and support our students, our community, the Jackson State community, as well as other incoming students that might come now. I was at the game this past weekend, and I've
yeah.
supported my school since I've been in school. My dad is a proud alumni. Family
Hmm.
members are from Woodville, Mississippi, and they go right up the street to Jackson State to go get educated. The problem that
Yeah,
I do have is that people that don't go to HBCUs do not um, appreciate HBCUs. So it's kind of hard for you to come on a panel, Chaotic Truth, and give your so blunt opinion.
yeah,
Well respected. Everybody has the right to do that, but
yeah.
you don't appreciate HBCU. So
Mm-mm.
of course you're gonna look at little old Jack State and call it Little Africa. But a person like me who is actually only 27 years old, I don't
Yeah,
look at Jack State as a Little Africa. I look at Jack State as
yeah,
a place for a black person that is trying to find their way, or is trying to be around other black people to give them a sight of a way um, that actually makes them become successful in life. So,
yeah.
I think you do this for entertainment, Chaotic Truth, and I don't appreciate the disrespect, but I understand that you do it for entertainment. But just understand, Chaotic Truth. Um, the world is much bigger than just money. It's much bigger than just selling a dream. There are people that are actually um, they actually need hope. I'm not one of those people. I'm self motivated, but
Hmm.
there are people that actually need hope, and when they're given hope, and it's kind of taken away at the spur of the moment, or surprisingly, it was taken away when we were actually going to the SWAC championship game, and we did win back to back. It is
Yeah,
kind of hurtful, but I don't blame him for leaving. I blame him for the message that he did convey of um, the future that it could be. And that's what he preached. He preached the future.
yeah.
If we're going to be totally honest.
Okay, well, listen, Isaac. And hold on, stay there for a minute, Isaac. Gary with the $5 super check says, "Only in our community, black, when you make history, you are a sellout. Go figure. He did more for HBCU than anyone who is criticizing him." But Isaac, I gotta admit this. You are correct, sir. I did not go to an HBCU, and me visiting Morehouse, Spelman, Morris Brown, Clark Atlanta, Howard, and many other HBCUs in my life doesn't mean that I know the culture. I don't know the culture, and what I do know is mathematics,
Okay.
and the math does not lie. These let's look at a Big Ten school. Big Tens are any university with over 50,000 students. State, Michigan. The alumni is so vast, and they could put so much money back into the athletic department. I mean, even the endowment. These schools have huge endowments. Would it ever be foreseeable in the future that these HBCUs would have huge endowments? Which, okay, let's use Travis Hunter. He's the number one high school kid in the country. Would he have? Was it a mistake for him to go to Jackson State, or was it, would it have been more lucrative for him to have gone to an O State? He would have gotten more exposure there. And sir, I went to a historically white university, and I could tell you, and you know it. These black kids, they want popularity, they want juice, they want fame, and they get that at these PWIs. They don't get that at those HBCUs playing football. Listen. You know that the Black Greeks are more popular than the football team. That's not like that at those PWIs where it's 50,000 kids and the football players don't go to O State. You're like Michael Jackson if you walk on campus. If you play football, Maurice Claret, you probably too young to know who he is. In my opinion, he was more famous than LeBron in Ohio back in the day. Maurice Claret, he was the most famous. He was the most famous 20-year-old in Ohio in 2002. And it's because he went to O State. Now, if he would have went to Malcolm X College, man, he wouldn't even been on a blip. But I see where you're coming from, respectfully. I'm glad you laid it out like that. Are you a Greek, sir?
Let me just touch on some points before I get to that.
Go ahead.
Um,
Yeah.
you touched on endowment. Like you said, those schools have 50,000 students each year, right? Jackson State is currently around maybe 8,500. The what we do is, in order to get those
And
donations,
that's including graduate students too.
That's not including graduate students. Sorry, that's just undergrad. Graduate students maybe
Okay,
like an extra 3,500. So we're probably
I'll take your
right
word
there
for it
about
then.
10. Well, I was student government vice president, so I know these numbers. I'm really close to the school, but that those number of students that actually attend 50,000 compared to 8,500. We know that the money and the numbers don't add up. I'm an accountant. Of course, numbers don't add up, but that does
Yes, sir.
not take away with what those traditions are. You don't know those traditions, man, and it's kind of it's really disappointing. It's kind of heartbreaking to know that so many black people don't understand those traditions, haven't been to a football game, haven't been on a campus to see the history that actually make black success um, so beautiful and so strong. Um, you said it, I didn't. I'm using your words. So if for all those people that are listening, hopefully you're listening as well. I do hope you guys go to different events. It doesn't have to be a step show, a football game, but just go to an event on a historical black college campus, and just see how everything is ran. See how those young African Americans are actually able to articulate like chaotic say like the white man. Um, I'm not really sure about whether black athletes are so infatuated with white women. I'm not. Um, I'm infatuated to whatever it is that I'm infatuated with. But what I am not infatuated, but what I am very positive and headstrong about is the black community and HBCUs, and that's what I will continue to support and advocate for.
How about this? Go
I
ahead.
am a Greek. I am a member of Kappa
Okay.
Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
Okay.
And that is another reason that I'm so forthcoming with propelling and providing opportunities for other blacks that's going through the ranks.
There's a lot of people in the chat, but let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
So football is it's a game of economics, TV
Hmm.
deals,
Hmm.
memorabilia,
Hmm.
paraphernalia,
Yeah.
even little things as people going to the sports bars.
Okay.
My good sir,
Yes, sir.
my good sir,
Hmm.
you say this is entertainment. I tell you that this is my truth. I go out
Okay.
almost every single day, and I damn sure go out on Saturdays.
Hmm.
I go to many sports bars. I see the people there. I see the love for the Big Tens, the Pac-12s. I see the love for these bigger colleges. They grew up watching these schools. 50-year-old men, 60-year-old men. It's gonna take generations for people. I'm not saying that people won't, but it would take generations for people to fall in love with Morehouse, Howard, Mary Bethune Cookman, even something, even small HBCUs like Mary Bethune Cookman College. It's going to take generations. And are these kids going to go to these schools? Are people going to fill up the stadiums, not just for homecoming, but for just regular games? People fill up the stadiums for regular games for O State, for Michigan. And we know that, to be honest with you. Are people going to go to the bars and the restaurants after the game or before the game? Are people going to tailgate? Are there going to be 20, 30,000 alumni coming back? It's a money thing, man, and I just don't see it because listen, we're all black and we know, man, whites are the biggest football fans in the country. They're the first of all, it's more whites in the country than blacks. You see more of them at these games. For these stadiums to be packed all the time, you're gonna have to have whites. I'm not saying that. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
So what you're speaking? No, no, I didn't mean to interrupt. I didn't.
No, no, you're
But,
good.
but
Go ahead. Go
but
ahead.
what you're speaking on is actually true. Stadiums are not packed. However, at Jackson State University, we have continued to always for the past maybe 5 or 6 years, we have led the FCS in attendance for games at
Mm-hmm.
around 39,000 each game when we play home games.
Yeah.
So although you say that the numbers are down and going to those, that is true, right? But what it is that my school do and what it is that my alumni do and my current students that are at Jack State University do, we support ours. Um, we're trying to pull other schools up to do the same. But what I will say, and I don't want to, I know you say it's a lot of people in the back chat, so I will
It's a
end.
lot. Yeah. I
Yeah,
want to. I don't
I
want
am.
nobody to drop off either. But I will do a panel.
Yeah,
You can stay up here. I'm gonna do a panel. Yeah.
and I have to have a meeting at 1:30. But
Okay.
what I will say to a lot of people that are listening, we have a game coming up December 17th in Atlanta, Georgia. This is a game where the top two HBCUs in represent the MEAC and the SWAC play. It's called the Black National Championship Game. If you are in Atlanta or surrounding areas, please come support. that is a way that you can help support these black colleges. All the money goes to each school. And I'll be there supporting. Hopefully I see you, Chaotic Truth. Maybe you
Mhm.
could see some black tradition and you could get a love for HBCUs. But I appreciate you letting me come on and speak.
Absolutely.
Thank you again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was Isaac on the ones and twos. Isaac is a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, one of many fraternities that are a part. Not many. It's only it's only Alpha Phi Alpha Kappa Alpha Psi Omega Psi Phi Phi Beta Sigma Alpha Iota Phi Theta. But he's a part of the Divine Nine, and I do respect him for being a fellow Black Greek. And I'm glad, and I respect his point of view, you know. But I'm hardcore on my point of view in terms of football, and I think that, in my opinion, Deion Sanders is not a sellout. Guys, there's a lot of people in the back. I want to get to everybody, and I'm going to do a panel because there's a lot of people, and I am like a first grader when it comes to the understanding of football in terms of the game play itself. So I'm pretty sure a lot of these people in the back know more about football than I do. Clarence, what's up, man? Clarence, can I ask you a question, sir? Do you know who Scarlett Johansson is? You know who Scarlett Johansson is, sir?
No, I don't.
Do you know who Margot Robbie is, sir?
No,
Did you ever see Wolf
I
of Wall
don't.
Street?
No.
Oh my God. Okay. Do you know who Cindy Crawford is?
Yeah, the actor.
Yeah. No, Cindy Crawford is the model, sir.
Okay. If you
Do you know
say
who that
so, I
is?
thought she was an actor. I thought she was an actor.
Do you know who that is, sir?
A female actor, right? That's what I said. Maybe not. You tell me.
Okay. So you're gonna play this game. Okay, sir.
No, I don't. I told you who I thought it was. You
Okay.
said it's not.
Who's the hottest white girl you know?
Oh man, shucks. I don't get down like that. I guess shucks.
Why y'all capping?
I
Listen, hey,
mean, no, I'm
look.
just saying. I draw a blank. You know, I'm just like,
Okay. You draw a blank. Let's be honest, man. Colorado probably has about 2,000 beautiful blonde haired white girls that go there. And all I'm saying is that a lot of these black boys who play football, they want to be around white girls. And trust me, I know, because I've seen it when I went to a predominantly white university. They weren't trying to be around these black girls looking like Celie from The Color Purple. They want to be around white, pretty girls. I saw it, sir. And I don't know. People are gonna say I'm trying to be a shock jock. I'm trying to be funny, but I saw it with my own two eyes. Given any opportunity, if those white girls get those black boys any play, they're gonna be around those white girls. But anyway,
I mean, I seen it too, so I know it's true what you're saying.
So that's why. So that's why I think Deion Sanders. You saw the smile on his face when he was on that campus. So all I'm saying is that they couldn't wait to get to Colorado around those white folk. Go ahead, sir. You got the floor. What do you think about Deion Sanders?
All I'm gonna say is this: he's not a sellout, and a lot of people, you know, if you follow Deion, he's there from the beginning. He will look at any offer that comes his way. So ahead. I mean, it wasn't like no big shock to me. So before he went to Jackson State, he was gonna go to Florida State. But he wanted to be a head coach. So nobody gave him a head coaching job. So he went to Jackson State. I knew he wasn't going to be in Jackson State long. If you're a football fan, you already know that. Because the big Power Five going to come.
My thing is that why are black people, not black people, why are people pretending that the HBCUs, you know, are so great and he owed them something? What do you think about that, sir?
I don't think he owed them anything. If anything, they owe him because all the facilities, as far as uniforms, everything he brought to the school.
Keep it
real. He brought highlights to the school. I was able to turn on the TV and to watch him play. ESPN Other than that, I never catch, you know, HBCU school, you know, on television. You know, I do support the local HBCUs.
And which one is that, sir?
Virginia State University in
Never
Richland.
heard of it. Okay.
Yeah, I know. But locally, yeah, people go. But besides that, no, they don't have the facility. They don't have the big turnout. I mean, I enjoy homecoming because it's a show. You're gonna see the band. You're gonna see everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. So I don't blame Deion. But then again, he still reached back and left a coach. You're gonna get a black coach that's gonna be coaching. That he recommended. So I mean, he put everything in place for that coach. That coach got the facility, new locker room. even like you say, gave up half of his paycheck to
Exactly.
go to the school to help. He like the
Exactly.
LeBron James. Wherever team LeBron James go to, he gonna bring money into the city.
Exactly.
So Deion don't owe nobody anything. They owe him money.
Exactly.
That's how I look at it.
Wow.
So that's all I got to say, bro.
Hey, can you come back for the panel? Can you stay in the back for the panel, or are you good?
Yeah, I can do that. I can do that.
Okay. Are you driving a Tesla, by the way?
No.
Okay. Stay in the back for a minute. Huh?
All right.
Yep. G. Hargrove, what say you, sir? Are you a member of Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated?
No, sir.
Okay. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to say first, I didn't go to HBCU. I don't hate Deion. I'm happy for Deion. I knew anybody with a sense knew he was gonna be a hell of a coach. Let's keep it real.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
But when you go on public platforms like I Am Athlete and say the things you say as far as God brought me to HBCUs to uplift them and bring them back up and level the playing field with PWIs, and then after year 3, his class that he recruited ain't even graduated yet, and he went on to the same PWI that he was trying to level the playing field with. That's the definition of selling that. That's what it is.
You don't think he left because you don't think they left because they want to be around white folk?
That could be the reason, but I can only go out what that man say out his mouth. That's what he said out his mouth.
Would you have left Jackson State for Colorado? If you'd have got $5 million a year?
The thing is, I'm not a rich former NFL legend.
But let's just assume it right now. If you were getting paid $200,000 a year, and then Colorado came and said, "Hey, we're gonna give you a $30 million contract to come here," what would you have done?
If I was Deion going on the platform,
no. If you were just you, if you were you, G. Hargrove,
yeah,
Hargrove. If you were just you doing it, would you have left? Keep it real. You want to be around white people, don't
you? I mean, I would have left because of the money. That's not what Deion said. He said we're talking about what Deion said, not me though. Yeah. I can only go out what that man said out his mouth.
John the Baptist with the $10 super chat says, "College is a place to learn liberal ideologies. If you like alphabet soup, baby dill, or feminism." G. Hargrove. I keep saying Hargrove. I had a couple of drinks, so that's probably why I'm slurring. No, I'm playing. So here goes the thing, man. You've never really watched HBCU football, right?
I've seen a couple of games. They got some kind of Magic City Classic around here. It's a game with Alabama State and A&M. So, I've seen a little bit of that.
But you generally watch the bigger, like the Power 5 schools, right?
Correct.
Why do we watch the Power 5 schools? Let's be completely honest.
But the thing is, I'll answer your question. We watch it because that's what's on the TV. Like the college I go for is Auburn.
So if the Mary Bethune-Cookman College game was on, you would watch that one if that was on TV?
Yeah, I watch different type of sports. I don't just if it's on and like Auburn or something ain't playing, I watch it.
Oh, okay.
Would it be my?
I got little cousins that I got cousins that go to the Ivy Leagues. I don't watch and they actually play. I don't watch their games. It's not good football. I'm sorry, it's just not. It's trash.
I watch
watching a WNBA game. So what?
I just watched the state high school football championship too. I just like watching the sport. So
okay. How about this? Stay on the panel. I want you to stay on the panel. Okay, give me a second. I got a lot of people in the back. Okay, stay here. Right. Stay here. Give me a second. Action Jackson. Salute to you, sir. Did you go to Mary Bethune-Cookman College? Keep it real.
No, I went to Northwestern State University.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for being a trucker, man. You are one of the lifebloods of the country. Did you pledge, sir?
No, I didn't.
Okay, were you in the band?
No, not in the band. I was walking on to play football.
Okay. What say you about Deion Sanders? Do you think he sold out? Keep it real.
You heard me?
I hear you now. Yeah, do you think he sold out, Deion Sanders?
No, I don't think he sold out at all, man. Like, to me, he set the foundation for what the other coaches in the whole HBCU community can leapfrog off of. To me,
Yeah.
that's I mean, cause like I get what the last guy was saying, like some of the words he was using for like the recruitment class, but most of that recruitment class is going to Colorado with him. So they're not gonna lose. So they still gonna get a great education. They still gonna follow a great man. Still get the discipline they need. They still gonna get everything he promised them, just at a different
Exactly.
university with more resources and everything else that's gonna come with that.
Exactly.
And then we had a chance to keep him. If well, I'm saying we because like I didn't want to go to HBCU. I wanted to go to Southern, but they didn't accept me until like a week before school started. But I was already on my way to Northwestern State.
Okay.
So they process. I guess that's a problem they say with SBCUs or whatever. Some of their stuff ain't in order or whatever.
Yeah.
But I did want to go to one because I'm originally from Louisiana, so I wanted to go to Southern.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then like people that's calling him a sellout, especially like within that community of Mississippi, like he did so much for that community, for his like endorsements with the Under Armour. Then they extended the TV contract by 6 more years. And then how like he doing all this for the community, and then the community turn around and steal from the man while he coaching the game.
Exactly. Yep.
Like that's crazy. And then they
Yeah.
broke into his son car.
They not breaking into Nick Saban's car.
Exactly.
I'm
That
just
would
saying.
never happen. That would never happen. They couldn't even hire security to keep the man safe, to keep his stuff safe. Like you can't keep nothing in your coaching locker. That's crazy.
It is, man. Action Jackson. I got a lot of people in the back, but stay here for the panel because this is gonna be a good panel, man. You gonna stay here for the panel?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, cool. Stay here for the panel real quick. TR, what's up, man? Did you go to Jackson State, sir? Keep it real. Okay, he dropped off. I don't know what happened. Okay, so that's about everybody. I don't know. TR dropped off. Guys, if you are offended by what I say, I don't care. I've always said this. Black people want to be around white folk. Time and time again, black people prove it to you. I'm just telling you what I see. When you get money, you don't stay in the black neighborhood, you leave. You want that safety and security in that pleasant environment. That's why Deion left. And all that money too, please. I'd have left in a heartbeat. They want national exposure. TR, what's up, man? Did you go to
What's
Jackson
going
State,
on?
sir? How you doing? Did you go to
I
Jackson
did
State?
not.
Okay,
I
where'd
did
you go
not.
to? Where'd you go to, sir?
No, actually, I didn't finish. I just went to a
Okay.
local community college.
I beg your pardon?
I said I just went to a community college, but I didn't complete it.
Oh, okay, okay. Did Deion sell out, sir?
He did not. He did
Mm,
not. He went for a better opportunity. When he went to Jackson State, he pretty much did what he said he was going to do, and he didn't get any help. So it seemed like they just left it all to him to change everything by himself. He said he reached
yeah.
out to powerful celebrities, entertainers, to ask for help.
You're breaking up there, TR. TR, you're
So he
breaking up.
said,
I'm
"What?" So,
yeah.
all right, let me get out of this building.
TR, hey, do me a favor.
But he
I'm
took,
gonna drop you. Okay, go ahead.
but yeah, he said, so pretty much, so he was like, "Shit, I'm doing all this. I'm not getting any help." He said, "I'm about to go where the grass is green." But then he was like, and when he got to Colorado, what did he say? He said, "Man, I like it here. It's nice and clean. There's no crime."
You saw the way that Negro was looking when he was on that campus with him and his kids. They was all smiling. His girlfriend
Hey,
smiling. They was like, "Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah,
yeah, I mean, he done what he did, didn't get any help. So hey,
yeah."
he left him in a good space. They got to finish it up on their own.
Absolutely.
Nobody wanted to do nothing while he was there. So hey, They can't put it all on his shoulders.
Hey, stay here for the panel real quick. I got to get to 2 more people, but this is gonna be a good panel because a lot of y'all want to get in on this one. This is gonna be a good panel. Hold on for a second. Stay here, okay?
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of people are agreeing, man. He's not a sellout. I didn't think he was a sellout at all. I knew what he was gonna do. He want to be around white folk. I know I do. I want to be around white people. I want to be around white women. I want to wake up and see white girls walking their Shih Tzus down the street. Come on, let's cut the cap. Let's cut the cap. I want to be on a nice, beautiful campus. I don't want to be on no damn Mega Everest University campus. Let's cut the crap. Big Bob, Boss Villain, what's up?
Yeah. I might be the only person that disagree with everybody that came on because
I've been on. Why you disagree?
All right, check this out. You see how you just came out and said how you feel right now?
Mm-hmm.
Deion didn't do that. He came to Jackson State because hold up. I've been on it the whole time. He came to Jackson State because the power PWIs didn't want him.
Oh,
they dissed him.
Keep it real.
Talked about him. I'm just keeping it real. They talked about him like a dog. They said he was unqualified. They said that they'd make him an assistant coach, but he can't be a head coach. So what he did was Jackson State gave him the opportunity. If you seen D, you know you can't tell black people God sent you to do something, man. Mississippi, you know you can't do no shit like that, man. And then you crying while you doing it. He came down there crying, talking about, I'm glad. Look at Google the speech that he gave when he accepted the Jackson State job. If you see that speech, you'll be like, oh, I see why they. And then on top of all that, he got top recruits to come to Jackson State
because
he sold them on playing in front of their people.
Yeah.
He sold them on that.
Yeah.
You feel me? But then he turned around and did the same thing that he told them not to do.
Yeah.
So we know we should have been expecting Deion to do Deion for the whole time, right?
Keep it
but
real.
The whole thing about it is it ain't wrong for people to hold him accountable for his word that he gave him.
And that's what
it's not wrong for people to hold him accountable for what he said he was going to do. He said he was going to level the playing field. He said that I'm gonna show people that we gonna compete with the PWIs while we down here at HBCUs, and he was doing that.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is he leaving, and on his way out the door, he taking everything with him.
Exactly.
He taking all the players with him. So right now, it's gonna be like LeBron James leaving Cleveland. Yeah. It's gonna be like right now he taking all the good players and the top recruits with him to Colorado. So now Jackson State about to be in shambles. So therefore, he didn't level the playing field. So look, I ain't mad at Deion because I knew all along all his friends kept saying he was leaving. So I knew he was telling them something behind closed doors the whole time.
Yeah.
But my thing was he was telling. We know Mississippi the poorest. Jackson State, Mississippi is the poorest city in America.
Trash. I wouldn't want to live.
You know the Bible and religion is big to them down there.
Yeah.
So when you go down there telling them people, God sent me down here to change the playing field and all that, that's why they mad, man. That's why they mad.
Now, boss,
they ain't mad because he always said that he was going to entertain the opportunities if they came. He always said that.
Now,
but
boss,
all they saying is they ain't want him to be there forever. They just saying, just do what you said you was going to do. When you leave, when you go take your job somewhere else, start from scratch like you started from here.
Now,
don't
boss,
take all this stuff away from us.
Now, boss, I got 2 more people in the back. I'm gonna do a panel. For the panel, per JR, everybody has to be on camera. But boss, if you can't be on camera, that's fine because you came in with smoke. But let me ask you a question: how fast are we gonna see a white woman clinging on the arms of Shador?
It's going down. It's going down.
Yeah,
you already know about that because when you seen him walking through the school on the video, right?
I would play the video, but I don't want to get the channel struck.
Like he was literally.
Let's be honest.
He was literally laughing at HBCUs.
He was in heaven. I saw it.
You right.
College. I saw it.
You're right.
Listen,
but he knew when he came to Jackson State that it was a stepping stone.
Listen, I ain't
And
trying to.
he didn't portray that to the people, man.
Boss, listen. I ain't trying to knock HBCUs. Spelman, when I in the 90s and early 2000s, when I visited, had pretty black girls. Hampton, Howard, pretty black girls. But why would a black girl, super hot, go to Mary Bethune-Cookman College? She's wasting her damn looks. Come on, man. Let's be honest.
No, man, I ain't doing that.
Most of those girls at those lower tier HBCUs look like Harriet Tubman. Hey, look, boss. I don't know if you get on. I don't know if you can get on camera, man. But please come for the panel, man. You came with the smoke, man. Thank you so much, sir.
I ain't gonna be able to get on camera, but I'll stay on the panel, man.
Okay. Thank you so much, boss. You came through with the smoke. Thank you so much. Cleveland, I'm gonna bring up you, and then I'm gonna bring up one more person, then I'm gonna do a panel. I'm gonna bring everybody back up after you. Go ahead, sir. Is Deion Sanders a sellout? Keep it real.
I'm gonna say yeah. First off,
go ahead.
You're one of my favorite people on YouTube, man. I love listening to you. You heard me. You bring it all the time. But definitely Deion is selling. I'm gonna say this because the things he was preaching to these young men, he was telling them Alabama ain't a better opportunity. You could come to Jackson State. If you play, they go see you. You go to the NFL. He was selling this to these kids.
Yeah.
So if I'm a young black man and I look up to Deion, he a leader, I'm gonna go take heed to it. I'm gonna follow Deion.
So you guys want to hold him accountable for his words he spoke.
For his words, definitely.
I got
I'm gonna give you an example. If Eddie George announced he was leaving, I wouldn't hold Eddie George responsible or accountable. Eddie George just coaching. Deion said he's about to make a change, not for Jackson State, for HBCUs. Now, if he didn't say them kind of things, I would say it's cool. Go ahead and this is what you're about self. But when he was preaching, he was talking about changing the culture, taking away from the Alabama. I'm an LSU fan. Taking away from them. And I would love to see Southern whoop the shit out of LSU. I would love to see these kids leave LSU and go to Southern and promote us, the HBCUs, black community, or the black colleges. That's what I want to see. And Deion was leading me to see his vision. I saw the vision. I knew it was going to take longer than 2 years, but look what he accomplished. I know I'm rambling, but we've been hot on this. Look what he accomplished in 2 years. We on TV. Right. We got names on our jerseys. We got a lot of things. He got a brand new field. A lot was accomplished in 2 years, and he got a top recruit that didn't get to HBCU in 50 years. He got one in 2 seasons. Can you imagine if Deion? Can you imagine if Deion would have stayed the course and believed in building up black community or black colleges over the Alabamas? You know how more people would have came and started believing in his vision if he'd have gave him more time? But for him to leave and tell us he going for a better opportunity. You told Travis Hunter Alabama wasn't better opportunity. Travis Hunter could have went straight to Alabama. Better opportunity. He led this man to come to Jackson State. I think he'll sell off for that.
Okay, I got you. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I got to bring up one more person, and then we're gonna do a panel. Okay. Stay back here for a minute. Okay. A lot of people driving and talking on cell phones. I mean, you know, TJ, you're kind of not. You're like off-centered. What's up, TJ? Okay, there you go. TJ, are you a member of Kappa Kappa Psi Fraternity Incorporated? Band fraternity?
No, sir.
Okay, go ahead. That's the kind of thought.
We got to be careful about every time we disagree with what a black man decides to do with his career or life that we call him a sellout.
Keep it real.
Come on, man. It's like we got this expectation that our black men, when we step out on a ledge and put our neck on the line, that we actually have to be the Messiah. Right. Deion has, and let me tell you something. I'm a big fan of HBCUs, but Deion, first of all, this is one hell of a topic, Chaotic.
Thank you so much.
This is one hell of a topic. I've been watching you for a minute, and I ain't never been compelled to come on to do nothing. But we have to be careful about this. I mean, HBCUs, as much as I love them, they suffer from a lot of issues that regular black folks suffer from. They care more about the show and pageantry than the actual competing. We should have the HBCU should have the absolute pipeline to all national sports, because black folks are the most gifted athletes in the country. Country, if not the world, for the fact that the HBCUs are not out here competing. should no other school should be able to go into somebody's, living room or school, in these communities and pluck out our blacks without the HBCUs giving them one hell of a fight to do so, and they're not.
It's a lot of people in the back, man, and I keep on saying this, and this is my theme for the night. Those 19, 20, 21-year-old black boys, they want to be around white girls. I seen it, man. I know it sounds really weird and strange, man, but
you want to know why they want to be around white girls?
I've seen it, man. When I went to historically white university. Go ahead, sir.
The reason why they want to be around white girls because white girls are easier to get along with.
Oh,
they don't make these brothers jump through all of these intermountain mountains just to have a lunch with them. I'm not shitting on our black women, but I'm just keeping it a buck. And I'm telling you right now, there's not a white woman on this planet that's not better looking than the finest black woman on this planet. But yet and still, our young boys going, look, man, I went to college.
Yeah.
I was on campus.
PWI.
Yeah, I went to a PWI. I graduated from Northeastern University out in Boston for undergrad and grad school.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not into the snow buddies. I don't begrudge nobody who are. I work with a bunch of snow buddies. They are easier to get along with.
Yeah.
Recreationally, professionally. When I go to work, man, I work in the medical field. I go to work. I walking down the hallways at my hospitals. Every white woman, whether they know me or not, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? How you doing? You pass a sister, you speak to them. You got to worry about them going to HR on you just for speaking.
Yeah, they do.
So
and that's what. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So a lot of these brothers, to a degree, they want to be around not just white girls. They just want to be around. Any straight brother wants to be around a woman.
Did you see how Shador's like 19 or 20? Did you see how he looked when he stepped foot on that Colorado campus? That boy was smiling from ear to ear. I said,
he didn't know what to do. He didn't know what the hell to do with himself. His system was overloaded. He was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. The only thing I'm angry about with Deion is that he didn't hold out for a better school.
Oh, keep it real. But see, I don't know how long that would have lasted. I would assume that he probably would have preferred
next year
at Florida State. His alma mater would have. Yeah.
Next year, Florida State would have got him. Mm-hmm.
Now, listen. This might be horse shit, but I was on different panels. People were talking about State. I said, "Oh, nigga, stop. That ain't happening.
He ain't going there.
He ain't got that kind of coaching caliber to go to State." No. And let me ask you a question, TJ. Let's be honest, man. Listen, I respect black people. I respect HBCUs. But we all know the hierarchy and pecking order. Even if they could recruit all types of black players, they still would not be as popular on those HBCU campuses as they are on white. It's just something about they would. It's just like it's not. Blacks aren't really. Listen. Blacks are not into football the way that whites are. Go ahead.
Do you remember Ron Dane and Brent Moss?
No, I do not. No, sir.
Brent. Well, I started my college career at the University of Wisconsin Madison, Big Ten College. I went there on a partial academic scholarship for wrestling. Listen, I was in the student dorm with when Brent Moss was leaving, and when this guy Brent Moss, he got into a lot of trouble.
He just died in last month.
He just died. He's from my hometown. He just died. And then when Ron Dane, which was like the star running back of the football team, was there, let me tell you something. Being around those guys, and they were celebrities. And Madison. At that time, Madison, the population is like 3-4% black. My God, I mean, I couldn't catch a night's sleep ever in those dorms because of the amount of women that are coming through there.
I visited State. You would have thought that the football, and this is when Maurice. You remember Maurice Claret?
Absolutely.
People don't know this. Maurice Claret. I could argue this because I'm from Ohio. He was more famous than LeBron for that 2002 year when he led State to the national championship. I don't know if he led them, but I would say that he was definitely a part of that championship team. Very integral. He was more popular, in my opinion, than LeBron James. Again, these football players at these HBCUs are not held. They don't have that popularity, and these are young kids, man. They want that juice, man. It's just a part of growing up. Go ahead.
we're at once upon a time, like you talking about the you're talking about the late 60s, early into the 70s. The NFL recruited almost exclusively out of HBCUs.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And I learned that. I had to go back and do that because Shannon Sharp used to talk about that on Undisputed all the time. And I had to go back and look at all of the great NFL players that came out of HBCUs, like Walter Payton.
Yeah. I know Jerry Rice is a HBCU grad. Now, here goes the thing, though. What people don't know, and I keep talking about this, is the economics behind it. TJ, listen, I got my bachelor's from a PWI, I got my master's from a PWI, and I've seen it. White people will set their weekend around football.
Yes.
Blacks aren't doing that. And again, it's not because, it's just a cultural thing. Whites, they will get the hotel.
And you want it.
They will buy $500 worth of food to tailgate. They'll buy $500 worth of beer. It'll be $20. They literally set their weekend around football. Blacks don't do that for some reason. And I'm not saying that there are no blacks, but blacks aren't going to do that at the HBCUs. They're just not going to do it. Go ahead.
And then here's the thing. And here's the other dirty little secret. Well, which is not such a dirty little secret. Look at the donor class of HBCUs. How many people are graduating from the HBCUs and giving, 10%? Hell, you didn't got to give 10% because Jesus took 10%, 7%, 5% of your income when you go back. Exactly. I'm at a different level of my life now. My alma, I'm here in St. Louis, and they got an HBCU, and I donate to them.
Oh, okay.
But even though I didn't go to them.
Pine Bluff?
No, Harris Stowe.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Hold on for one second. We got to get any last word? TJ, any last one-on-one words real quick, sir?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I got to get Brian in and then Flo in. Brian, what's up? I think Flo was first, but Flo, do you mind if Brian goes? I mean, if I already said his name, but okay, Flo, go ahead. Can I ask you a question? Oh, hold on for a second. Eugene with the $10 super chat says, let's go back to the time where HBCUs just started. They started because PWIs would not admit them. HBCUs were strong back then because faculty and students had a drive. What happened to it? Brian, can I ask you a question, sir? Did you
how you doing?
Pretty good. Brian, quick question. Were you a long snapper for Medgar Evers College? Keep it real.
This nigga. No, I was not a long snapper for Medgar Evers. Where'd you get some shit like that from? Yeah.
Go ahead, sir. Is Deion Sanders a sellout, sir?
I don't think he's a sellout. No, I think the black community has a problem with Deion because of the word that he used. It came off as being deceiving when he initially came there. He said that God sent them, and he know that in our community, especially in lower class communities, religion is held to a higher standard, even though we may not follow it. And by him saying God sent them there, they felt like, okay, he was going to be there for, an extended period and help right the ship. But when he found for a bigger bag, it's like, okay, God has a different calling on your life now in less than 3 years. So I think that's the main issue with a lot of our the black community having taken the issue with Prime. I don't have a problem with it because I think that he used it as a stepping stone to get to a higher level, which we all should aspire to do in life. Level up. That's what we talk about in our community all the time, leveling up. But when your initial message was that, hey, to level the playing field and that God sent you there, and then you bounce in less than 3 years, they feel slighted. And I believe they got a right to feel that way. I really wish that we would stop allowing these athletes and entertainers to use religion and God to play on us like that. That way we're not disappointed when they do leave.
Okay.
That's my conjecture on it. Stop allowing them to use God to play on our emotions like that, because they know that black people, poor black people, are tied to religion. And this dates all the way back to slavery. Sit around and we wait on God to deliver everything for us. And then when Prime shows up, he's almost like a God figure to us. So this is our savior now. So now that he's gone, who else is going to save us? Well, I say we save ourselves, which is what we should have been doing from the get-go.
Can I ask you a question, Brian? In the 90s, were you bumping Must Be the Money in your drop top? Keep it real.
Yeah. Must Be the Money. When Prime was in Atlanta, when he played for the Braves, and
played for the Falcons. That was one of his theme songs. I always thought that he was never, a singer or rapper or anything like that. But he had a lot of flash and a lot of the cachet that a lot of the football players looked up to. And for another thing is, a lot of the women liked us. So, in our communities, football, women, and money, is held, it's something that we aspire to achieve.
Yeah.
And he had that. Prime had that cachet. So now that he's gone, that swag is gone. It's like, who do they turn to now? I think that's why they're so disappointed at him, and they're calling him a sellout. Me personally, I don't think he's a sellout. I think he just used that as an opportunity to get to a higher level. He just didn't tell the people in Jackson State that's what he was doing.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how hot is Tracy Edmonds?
Tracy Edmonds, the younger Tracy Edmonds.
Right, she's super hot now, though. I mean, she's dating him.
Well, she done got a little older now, so that number has decreased. But we talking about the younger Tracy Edmonds when she was with Babyface. That was a dime.
Yeah, she's like a legit dime, man. Even in her old age, she might be like up there, like an 8.5. But thank you so much, Brian. Hold on for a second. Let me get where is he at? Oh, okay. I think he dropped off. Oh, Flo, there you go. Flo, what's up, man? Salute to you, man. Are you a member of Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated? Go ahead, sir. You're on mute. Go ahead, sir.
No, sir. No, sir,
okay.
I'm not.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't pledge anything. Yeah, my input is gonna be quick and sweet. Deion didn't sell us out. Whoever the guys were that was from the 70s, that's who sold us out. That's who, because most of our NFL legends came from historically black colleges. You got Harry Carson. We already know Jerry Rice. We already know Walter Payton, Jackson State. Deacon Jones. Matter of fact, do you know how many? I know it got to be 100 or better players that came from HBCU with NFL legends now, and a lot of them are Hall of Famers. So Deion didn't sell us out. Yeah. They sold out. Like we're going to go to NCAA basketball. Most people know Rupp Arena from the University of Kentucky. Everybody knew Adolph Rupp didn't like black players. Who does Kentucky recruit now?
Black players, I guess.
Their whole team is black players now. And they have a history. Their legendary coach, who the arena is named after, did not like black players. There's a movie about it and everything called Glory Road, in which the Texas Southern or whatever that team was started the five black players against Adolph Rupp's Kentucky team. So yes, those guys back then sold us out. It was way before Deion. Deion just brought the culture back to HBCUs, and now it's up to us to keep the ball rolling.
Salute, man. Hey guys, it's an open panel, man. It's all up to you guys, man. Let me read the super chat real quick, and then hey, man, Derek with the super chat says the mass media is calling him a sellout. Us local ticket season holders aren't mad. Locals are mad for how he handled the trophy ceremony and didn't allow the team to celebrate their historic season. Listen, man, I've been to baseball games and football games. The only people I heard complain about the price of nachos and popcorn, Negroes. Hey, man, are blacks really going to support the HBCUs? And if so, I feel like this. We should gladly go to the HBCU games, and we should gladly pay $20 for some beer, $20 for popcorn. We need to do the same thing that whites do to support and bring money into the HBCU, into the football programs. Whites do it all the time. We got to stop being so cheap as people, too. It's a money thing. But, guys, go ahead. I'm talking your heads off. Go ahead.
I got a question for TJ. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You said we have a issue with holding black people accountable or blaming Deion for leaving. But we hold him accountable for what he said and the vision he was selling to us. So I think we in our right to feel a certain type of way for him leaving. I'm gonna give you an example. All of us seen Lean On Me before. Joe Clark went to a school with nothing but hoodlums. Kids was selling drugs. He stayed his ass there and turned it around. Fair East Side. Remember the song? He changed the song. The lady changed the song. He stayed there. You see the change that happened? Deion was a personality that had the cachet to change the plight of HBCUs, I believe. I don't think you can just get anybody in there that's able to draw the attention. Deion, he on Affleck commercials with Nick Saban. What other HBCU coach?
When was the last time prior to Prime? When was the last time you seen a national HBCU football game?
That's my whole point. I have it. So that's my whole point.
So he takes 3 years, invest his personal
2.5 years. 2.5 years.
2.5 years. Invest his personal resource capital. He bring ex-NFL players and ex-NFL coaches to Jackson State. He provides what we provide, and we're not grateful because he's not providing more.
You know what the answer to that is? Is that the PWIs didn't want him. When he came out of high school, they talked about him like a dog. They said he was unqualified. They said he could be an assistant coach. He said he could be assistant coach, and they said they ain't making him up. And then what he did was he came to us, and then he came to us crying. He was literally crying when he came, and he told the people God sent him to the HBCUs to change the program and level the playing field. He told the players that he got coming to him, the number one recruit in the country. Watch the 60 Minutes interview. They asked the number one recruit in the country, why he come? He said, because Coach Prime said, I'll make history from coming to play for my people and for me to uplift African Americans. He said it out his mouth. See, this is what I'm saying. I ain't mad at Deion for leaving. I knew he was leaving. But it ain't wrong for people holding him accountable for not keeping his word, man. If Deion would have just came and didn't say none of that stuff, like right now, like the brother said, Eddie George could leave Tennessee State right now. Ain't nobody gonna have no problem with it. Deion used HBCUs and then went to a predominantly white institution, which he sold the players to come into Jackson State on. They ain't have to do. He did this exact opposite. Soon a 1-11 college team, I could see if he was going back to Florida State or he was gonna get a job at something like Ohio State or something.
Okay, I understand.
Come on, man. Like if you tell me something, I can't hold you accountable for you telling me what your word is. I can't do that.
You can't say it no better. You can't say it no better than what he said.
You can't do that if you ain't holding up your end of the bargain either.
I'm on it. See, everybody keeps saying that part, but this what first off, we the most disenfranchised people in the country, man. We at the bottom of the totem pole, man. Everybody ain't got money to do, but guess what we can do to support? We can watch them games and we can tune in because all that shit costs money, man. All that costs money. All that is money.
That money is already hold up, that money already accounted for, bro. That money is spread out throughout all HBCU. It does not going to that one school. People got to come and show out, and they got to buy stuff at that school to generate more money.
But this the whole thing, though, brother.
You're not going to keep getting money just because I'm tuning in. That contract is set in stone. You already got that money. They're not going to add just because you turn on the TV. They already got that money, man. You got to come and support. You can't just, I'm going to turn on the TV, all right, now I'm getting them more money. It don't work like that, man.
She said this out right here.
Some time into doing something like that. Like I said, Joe Clark, he didn't change that school in 1 week. It took some time. Deion just took 2.5 years and got things accomplished. Imagine the influence.
No help.
But guess what? He got things accomplished, but when he leaves, he taking all that with him. Ain't no other Deion Sanders, man. Ain't no other Deion Sanders, man. Ain't nobody go down there and do what he did.
You said we at the bottom of the total pole economically, right? You said we don't have the money to do that, right? I beg to differ on that. We have money for what we want to spend it on.
Exactly, Brian.
So don't tell that lie, man. That's not true.
No, but what I'm saying is you can't.
You have money.
What I'm saying is you can't criticize somebody by saying you ain't put in a pot because somebody didn't keep their word, man. If all y'all men on here,
Hold on a second.
It's either you a man or you ain't.
Hold on a
if you
second.
say something out your mouth and you invoke God, the black Mississippi people that go to church all the time,
I said that.
They gonna hold you to that, man.
Listen, my brother. I spoke on that earlier. Did I not, chaotic, about him using God to play on the black community? What I'm saying is this: when I saw that video of Prime and Shador touring Colorado, Shador was amazed at the facilities. We had the money to build those facilities too. It's just that we choose to spend it on the wrong shit. So don't put it on that we don't have the economics. We have the economics. We just choose to invest it into other things. We have enough money to build those type of facilities. If we want to keep coaches like Prime there, if we want to keep players like Travis Hunter there and Shador there, we just spend it on the wrong thing. Again, I think Prime was wrong for what he did by invoking God into his speech to us. Because
that's all I'm saying, brother.
Right. And I'm agreeing with you. I disagree with you saying that we don't have the money. That's a lie.
No, let me explain to you what I mean. What I mean is that it's more than black people that got jobs and stuff that's criticizing Prime. Like, it's poor people in Mississippi, which is the poorest. Jackson, Mississippi is the poorest city in the country, man. So what I mean by that is people criticizing Prime that's really, really, really poor, that don't have money to give. That's all I'm saying. But I ain't talking about us that got jobs and us that's doing nothing. I'm saying that it's real poor. So when you say if you ain't doing nothing, if you ain't coming out your own pocket for HBCUs, you can't criticize Prime when you live in Jackson, Mississippi, and you poor as hell, and you know the government in Jackson, Mississippi against Jackson, Mississippi. We all know that.
I got a quick question.
They ain't even got clean water.
Let me ask this quick question. Out of the 2 years, all that Deion accomplished, imagine if he stayed 7 more years. What y'all think would the HBCU football programs would look like in another 5 years? You see what he did in 2 years. How much more you think
the money was coming, man?
So without the support, or without the support, he can't
it was support.
What was the point? You see what he did already?
He was selling 60 every game they had. It was 60,000 people in the stands.
Without the support,
what you mean? No support?
That only goes so far. That only goes so far.
5 or 7 years from now, we'll be having the same conversation because they'll be pissed off that he left, that he didn't stay 10 years.
I don't think he could have stayed 7. I think he could have just stayed 2 more. And when he left, don't take all the players with you. Do the same thing you did at Jackson State when you go to the PWI. Start from scratch and come up. Let me
ask you a question. A coach's head job, the primary job of a head coach is to win football games and to recruit. How many of these PWI coaches have not sat in parents' living rooms and not necessarily told the truth just to recruit? Their job is to recruit. And I'm not trying to make an excuse for Deion, but Deion is a salesman. And his job is to recruit.
Like they did.
All right, you I understand that, brother. I admit that, brother. But it's the same thing. It's people that can hold them accountable for that, though. Especially when you're invoking Jesus and all that type of shit there.
Before Prime, Jackson State was in shambles. So we can't continue to hold our men to Messiah standards. Yes, it would be nice if he stayed another 2 or 3 because we're not Messiahs.
Let me ask you this though.
It ain't got nothing to do with being no Messiah, man.
What do you mean?
It got something to do with when you say something, nigga. When you say something, keep your word, dog. That's it.
I understand that, but you got to understand in the context and where it's being done. What
you don't want a Messiah, man? Just keep your word. Just keep your word. That's it.
Hey, Prime is a showman, man. Listen, Prime is a showman. He's listen, man. Hold on.
All right.
Prime is a showman. He's always been a showman ever since Little League. He told black people what they wanted to hear, but he showed you what you needed to know. It take money.
No, what happened was, see,
Period.
everybody keep forgetting the one thing. They didn't want Prime. He didn't tell black people what they want. He was crying. Watch the Jackson State Prime rollout. He was crying tears.
We heard you say that already.
All right then. So why you acting like I ain't say that when you speaking? They didn't want him. They didn't want him.
He did the same thing for Jackson State that he did for Colorado. His son was committed to a whole nother school. His son wasn't coming to no Jackson State. So that's another contradiction right there. He did the same exact thing. He said, "No, son, come on over with me so we can do this together."
No, he didn't say that. No, he didn't say that. Young Dolph, see, you ain't just following it like me. Young Dolph told his son to come to Jackson State. Young Dolph, Deion wasn't enough to pull his son to Jackson State. Young Dolph told him son to come to Jackson State. Do your research, family. Do your research, family. Do your research. Young Dolph told Shador to come to Jackson State.
Bro, you just gonna yell or listen. I follow my research, bro. I listened to the documentary. The man, he went to his dad and said we were gonna have a conversation. Why we walking around like it ain't an elephant in the room? Like, I'm coming or what? If you go back and look at their family documentary, that's a whole conversation they had before he took the job to Jackson State, when he was talking about coaching, because it wasn't just Jackson State on the table. It was another small school on the table as well. And you talking about him running to Jackson State, bro, they do that to all minority coaches. Look at Jeff Saturday. That man ain't got no coaching experience, but he had a friend. And now he's the coach of the Indianapolis Colts. No experience. That man was on TV.
And it's showing too.
Talking about football. We're not going to get them chances like that. Quit making it seem like that a black man is going to go to a PWI like that, bro. He had to start somewhere.
And what's bad about it, he went to Colorado.
He didn't have to say what he said, though.
Colorado.
He had to hold the man accountable for what he said out his mouth.
I'm curious because I'm hearing y'all saying what he said out of his mouth. What was it that he said out of his mouth?
That HBCUs were underfunded stuff before he know that, right? Before he came in, he knew what the job was before he came in. Let's not act like
that's what I'm saying.
Oblivious to. Come on now.
That's what I'm saying,
bro. That's a grown man. Come on now. Let's not act like he was oblivious to it. Come on now.
So our whole problem with Prime is the fact that he said something about God.
No, he was dreaming. That's the problem. He didn't know how horrible the politics was in Mississippi. He didn't know that. That man lived in Texas. He didn't know how horrible the politics was in Mississippi. And look what Brett Favre was able to do, playing with that money. That's making everything worse. And then, if I see that as a top recruit, why the hell do I want to be taking a goddamn bath in a damn swimming pool? Who want to continue to deal with something like that, man? And who's to say that stuff like that in Mississippi not going to continue? And then he having to go into the administration and talk to them about getting money for kids, that money that they deserve that they should have. That's crazy. That man shouldn't be having to go through all that. And this during the undefeated season, this stuff just happened. This still going on for the 2.5 years that y'all keep bringing up, that they had a money issue with the kids on the football team and he bringing in top recruits. Come on, man. Make it make sense.
Thank you for that super chat, RC. RC says
Deion knew that before he came in, though. That's the point.
I just said
I got a question.
Like, it's okay.
The man. I want you to ask this question real quick.
Folks are critical on this, but not holding up on this. All it is.
Hold on, chaotic. Tell me what kind of change you think Deion would have made on top of what he did already if he'd have stayed another 3 or 4 years. Tell me your honest opinion.
I think that Deion Sanders, his appearance, his presence at the HBCU, in my opinion, I don't want anybody to think that I'm trolling. I think it was a novelty. I think it was the equivalent of when they drafted Muggsy Bogues. I think it was just for show. I think after a few years, it would have waned down. I don't think the attendance would have been the same. The older that Deion gets, I mean, the less, the less famous, I guess, the less allure. I mean, let's be honest, people are there because of Deion. But the older he's getting, the less juice he's going to lose. Of course, this happens with everybody. And I feel like people will stop going to the games eventually. I think it was just something that it was a novelty. I don't think that it would have been local. It would have been just for Jackson State. I don't think that no other school would have gotten the top pick. Now, I could be completely wrong, but I think that a lot of kids want to go to these big schools. They want to go to these big campuses. They want to go to Alabama. They want to go to O State. They want to go to these nice, beautiful campuses with these nice, beautiful $150 million sports facilities and these nice dorms. I've seen it, man. Listen, I'm not trying to knock it. I've just seen it, man. It's just human nature. You want to be around nice things, man. And these kids don't want to be at. They don't want to be at Mary. They don't want to be at Mary Bethune-Cookman. They don't want to be at Mary Bethune-Cookman College in their dorms.
And let's not forget, chaotic. This year they finally the NCAA said that student athletes now can make money off of their own likeness now.
NIL, yeah.
Yep.
RC with the $10 super chat. Give me 1 second. RC with the $10 super chat says black folk will not take responsibility for HBCU's failure. Prime showed us that he can come in as a coach and get sponsorship. Why can't any of the HBCU administrators? Where's the alum? Because they steal the money. Let's be completely honest. Here goes another super chat. Another super chat is S_PA_CSE says, y'all have a Messiah complex. Oh, let them have it towards this man, and it's pathetic. Stop trusting athletes and entertainers to address your social and political issues. That must be a Ku Klux Klansman in the chat with that one. Wow, that was a good point though.
Yeah, to address even just that last super chat right there.
We don't believe in sacrificing 5 people no more.
Hold on a second. Woody Mack has been quiet. Woody Mack, please address that real quick.
Just go and listen to this one super chat right here. If I can keep that, I think the one reason why a lot of people like seeing entertainers like, say, for the Kyrie Irvings and the Kanyes and all these other people who have a platform to speak out is when they start speaking on certain issues, it brings more attention to it. Yes, true. It is nice to get like whatever issue is important to you, get it some light to the forefront of everybody's mind. But again, if nobody gets behind it, ergo, and why I say if nobody gets behind it, HBCU sports in general, a lot of people don't go. JSU is one of the outliers, but people don't give a shit about, pardon the curse word, don't give a darn about sports at HBCUs because the talent level is down here, right? And there's levels to this thing. HBCU sports down here. Exactly. Next up, right here.
But as time go on with influence, that don't change.
But guess what? You know how much time we gonna need? One, the only reason why athletes were going to JSU is because of Prime. Because he had connections. So ergo he can get look. And it's true. But guess what? Guess what happens at the other schools? Nobody's going to the other school, so there you go. It's like me taking the Kansas City Chiefs, dropping them in an HBCU, and playing other schools. Get the reference. It's like me taking the Kansas City Chiefs, dropping them off at JSU, and then you're playing lower competition. So it's always going to be overmatched JSU playing against lesser competition, unless, say, Randy Moss takes a job at Mary Bethune-Cookman and Jerry Rice takes a job at Grambling. Then it levels it, but it's not everybody doesn't have the aspiration. So ergo, all it's gonna be is Deion Sanders having the coldest team in the HBCU beating up on everybody.
And Mr. Mack, why do we talk about these black? Go ahead.
DJ, hold on a second. We got new people on the panel, and I want to be respectful, give everybody a chance. Ricardo, salute to you. God Will Spirit, salute to you. God Will Spirit, did you play at Alabama, sir? And if so, did Nick Saban ever cuss you out? Go ahead. Keep it real.
Nah, I'm from Alabama. That's all it is. I'm from Alabama. Roll Tide. As far as Deion Sanders, one, I have no problem with him leaving. I understand why. My biggest issue is that he got paid $1.7 million. He had to get back by $300,000 because he's leaving early. He gave $150,000 back to the school so they could do renovations. So basically, HBCUs don't have the money. Why? Because alumni who claim they love HBCUs aren't investing into it. As a coach, making 1.7 million, and I'm not one to count anybody's pockets. I don't know how much money he got in his bank account. I don't care. But as the fact that he had to pay out his own pocket to help fund their renovations is crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my thing is, we got all these people talking about loyalty and this and that, and you need to be loyal to the HBCUs. A lot of people talking about ain't even loyal to their own family. I mean, keep it real. These are the same ones breaking their own family and the Black community. So, I mean, miss with the whole loyalty thing. Like, you have to take care of yourself. It's a smart idea for him going to Colorado. Granted, he wanted to go to another school, but now he could take those same Black coaches and elevate them, and they have a bigger playing stage. They have a bigger platform, and eventually, maybe those coaches can have some of people going back down to the HBCUs. But you have to start somewhere, and then you have to elevate and continue to elevate. No difference than we've seen all the Black coaches out of the NFL had to start lower than everybody else, but then they continue to elevate. And Mike Tomlin, he doesn't get enough credit. The dude was a Brian Flores or whoever Miami got fired. He hired that dude. He not to hire that dude. And then there's one or two other NFL coaches right now that are coaching the HBCUs. But ain't nobody claiming to go to those schools, and they're reaching NFL coaches. It's because, like you were saying, it's still lower. We understand that, but then on one hand, you want somebody to coach there that's got the lure, but then you got people who actually got NFL coaching experience, willing to go to HBCU. What's the support there? Ain't nobody support. They ain't get the same support. So like, what? So what do y'all want?
Before anybody
Deion help.
Woody, hold on. Before anybody answers that, God will spirit, real quick. I want to thank you, sir, for killing people. Not you per se, but I want you for the Army for killing people.
I'm in the Air Force. I got you.
Well, okay. Well, I want to thank you for serving our country, sir, and providing for our freedom, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Guys,
thank you. I appreciate it.
For our servicemen and our truckers. If it were not for people for like Action Jackson, you would not have your food, your clothes, and other knickknacks around your house. Thank you guys for the truckers and the military, for the military first and the truckers. You guys are the lifeline and the lifeblood of this country. Salute to you, though, God will spirit. Your uniforms look the same, though. Maybe I'm tripping.
No, they are the same.
Oh, okay. I know.
Save on cost.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Ricardo, you look like you went to Medgar Evers College and ran tackle. What's going on? Is that true?
No, I'm actually from South Carolina. But
are you Omega? Are you a Q dog?
No.
Okay.
You tried it though, but no.
Go ahead.
I normally don't tune into your show because I normally don't like most of the stuff you say.
Absolutely not.
But today,
you're liberal.
No, actually, I'm not. Today, you're actually right.
Yes.
For all the folks who have a problem with Deion Sanders, do you have a jersey? Do you have a Jackson State jersey?
Oh,
probably don't.
Let them have it, Ricardo.
Like everybody has a jersey.
Ricardo, be quiet, man. Be quiet, Ricardo.
Folks like to talk about we gotta support, but you can't support in just spirit. Brothers need money. He got a family. Like, where's your jersey at? All these folks have a problem with him. Where's the Jackson State jersey? Where's it at?
And they got nicer too, because Under Armour picked them up. They got even nicer.
Has anybody here been to a Jackson State game?
Why would I waste my time going to a Jackson State game? Exactly.
Keep it How about real anybody else? Has anybody else been to a Jackson State? Because what I'm saying is, showing up financially and everything else, that plays a factor. You got to show up. You can't just say, I like Deion on Facebook. You got to show up. You got to buy the team gear. You got to support the team. It's easy to say, you go in church and say, God bless Deion. The brother got a family. You got to support him. You got to support the team. Are we doing that? Are we supporting the team? I'm sure nobody here got a team jersey. Man. People buy Alabama stuff. People buy Clemson stuff. Where's that? I don't see that.
Hey, I agree with you that the people that have a problem with it is not showing the support, especially the ones with purchasing the merchandise. However, I believe that Prime would have loved Jackson State anyway, whether we bought gear or not. I think Prime needed the experience. Nobody was willing to give him experience at the Shador left high school. He wanted to coach at the college level. Nobody wanted to give him experience. Jackson State was one of the few institutions at the lower level that will give Prime that experience that he needed. I think that he was using that to gain the experience and gain the trust of the people at the next level, and they hired him. He struck gold by going to Jackson State. He was able to with his cachet and with his brand, which is prime time, he was able to pull in a lot of donors. He was able to pull in a lot of assistance, a lot of resources from a lot of his NFL colleagues. He was able to pull in a lot of donations, and he got most of all, he got the fan support.
Yeah.
Everything trickled down to Jackson State. None of that really trickled down to the other HBCUs. He was able to use Prime. Now, we can't get mad at using Prime's brand to garner this stuff, which he got suits from Michael Strahan. He got coaching experience from the NFL. He got resources. He got people to donate. He just needed that stepping stone to get to the next level. He was leaving regardless.
I have a question.
Hold on, guys, hold on for a second, because in the interest of getting everybody in, Stanford, you came in. I want to get you in real quick, but I have a question for you real quick. Were you cooking soup? Because I saw some steam. Keep it real.
No, I'm actually, to be honest with you, I was making some lima beans and ham hocks.
I knew it was something. Are you that dude from Hoop Dreams? You look like that. The one. No, I'm serious. Like, no, you look that one. Remember Hoop
Come
Dreams?
on, chaotic.
No, seriously, he looks like the one basketball player. Hold on. Are you that dude?
Nah, you sort of remind me of Teddy Pendergrass before the
So, what say you about Deion Sanders hauling ass out of Jackson State or out of Jackson?
I think he. I mean, the way you put. I think he did the right thing. I think I think people are more upset because he's a black coach that had the resources that he had and felt as if that he should have used all his, which he did.
Keep it real.
Should have kept all his resources there and kept them there. But in order for us to break a lot of them different barriers and to get into the higher echelons of things, when no opportunity arise, we must take those opportunities. You know what I'm saying? And that opens the doors for other coaches. Now, with that being said, though, we have to make sure that, but everybody's not Deion. When he came to Jackson State, because I'm sure there's other coaches out there probably who can just coach just as good as he can. But everybody's not Deion Sanders. Everybody doesn't have those resources. Everybody doesn't have that money. And people feel as if he dropped the ball a little bit on that. But the opportunity was there for Colorado State. Now, could you imagine if they become, even though they're not SEC, if they become a winning team? Because didn't they win like 4 games or 2 games or something like that? And then if they come back and they start winning like 10 games, that'll be because everybody else say that'll be Deion Sanders that did that.
Yeah, but even if they did, who cares? It's the swag. It's not.
No, I'm talking about Colorado State.
Oh yeah, that'd be totally different. Yeah.
Then people will say, "Oh, Deion did it," and then other black coaches will have opportunities also. Then he's making another. I think he's making another step too. Sticking another stepping stone too. He did. I do think he used HBCUs to get there, and coach has been doing that forever. They didn't say that shit about Nick Saban. So,
can I ask you a question? By the way, P. Rothstein, thank you so much for the super chat. I just lost it. Says I'm from Ohio. Go Buckeyes. And I love Prime that much that I do have a Jackson State hat and jacket. Thank you so much. And I got another super chat I need to read. Omega Green with the $5 super chat says the argument that people like Deion should sacrifice himself is stupid, indefensible, and suggests the bell curve is correct. Now, Stanford, let's be completely honest, sir. Did you see when Shalomi, his daughter, Tracy, what's her name? Tracy Edmonds. Did you see those Negroes and how the smile they had from ear to ear when they got on that campus? Did you see that? It was. I think
I know what you alluding to. I think I know what you alluding to, man.
It was almost like heaven. They didn't have that smile. They didn't have that smile at Jackson State. I wonder why. They like being around white people. They grew up around white people. Shalomi didn't grow up around blacks.
I don't think it's that, man. I think it's more of I think it's things when people are around things that look nice. They tend to get happy and giddy about it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I live out here in the suburbs somewhere, but I go get a lot of my food from out there from where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. You know, you like to surround yourself with nice things. That's all. I don't think it has anything to do with the race or anything else, anything like that. Where things are nice is where you like to be at.
Give me 1 second. Thank you so much, Stanford.
Yes.
Stepping Wolf with the $5 super chat says, I think that Deion left because the money and his brand bought to Jackson State didn't get to the athletic program. Well, we've talked about that. Uncle Kai with the $5 super chat says JSU has 60,000 alumni. If each one gives the cost of a cup of coffee a month, that's $240,000 a month. Every HBCU can do that. Ricardo, you had something else to say, sir. Go ahead.
With the money.
Why are we putting like the pressure of fixing this issue on one person just because he's black? Like, that's unfair.
Because we have a savior complex.
Well, with great power, with power.
G-Hard Groves, you got to come back. Your mic. Something's wrong with your mic, G-Hard Groves.
You sound like a chipmunk right now. I ain't gonna hold you.
Come back real quick, okay?
With great power is responsibility.
I keep
so
saying,
you know what that great power
I don't think some of it has to do with it's because he's black when it comes to us, yes. But with great power comes responsibility.
Yep.
I think you know what that is more applicable. If I can address him just shortly, great power comes great responsibility. But I think that saying is more applicable though, would be on the president of the school, the directors of the school, the athletic director. They have more influence because they have been given this position. They're under their salary to make changes and make improvements at the school. Yes, and Deion too, his responsibility is to win as a coach. But as soon as he started coming and bringing things outside of his job to improve his situation, to make his job better, he's going above and beyond.
Power isn't just is not just position. I don't really know who the Jackson State dean, whoever it is, but I do know who Deion Sanders is. So, with that being said, with that power comes great responsibility. But I get what you're saying too. It should be shared.
I'm glad you
do. Have a part to play.
That's like, and I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. The money that could have been allocated to help Deion improve his situation came from high ups. Now, unfortunately, because a lot of people are not supporting football or sports overall at HBCU level, there's not the money there. So what I think, in my purview, I think there's no initiative to give to something when you're not getting the return on investment.
Hold on for a second, guys. Let me read the super chat.
That's the problem. They don't see no reason to give when they ain't getting back their money.
Let me read this super chat.
Still got to make bread. Still got to make bread.
Let me read the super chat real quick. Big Ant with the $10 super chat says, "What up, chaotic?" Or should I say, Duck from the 5 Heartbeats? Wait a minute. It was somebody in the chat I wanted to address real quick. I don't like doing this, but Dawood says, "You young people." I don't know if I think Ricardo might be the only actual young person on the panel, and maybe God will spirit. I'm damn near 50. Says you young people have no love for being black.
I'm 37.
Okay, I'm 38. You young people have no love for being black. Willie Lynch did his job. Dawood, I challenge you, sir. I challenge you to cam up right now and show us your beautiful home in Congo or Liberia or Papua New Guinea. I want you to show us your beautiful home in a black nation state with all beautiful black people, and I want you to show us this. I prove it. Prove us wrong. If you could prove that right now, that you are in an African country or a predominantly black nation state, I will never do a Lapeef politics again, Dawood. Go ahead, guys.
Hey,
no, you would be fucked up if Dawood did come on screen. That motherfucker was in Kinshasa, Congo. Oh, wow.
The motherfucker show you in Wakanda.
That'll be some fucked up shit. Action Jackson with the $2 super chat says Prime made history. First HBCU to go to a power. What? First HBCU to go to power.
I think 5. He might have been talking to one team that they played.
I don't think they played any power
they put on the schedule. But I don't even think he put no real serious school on the schedule ever to play, because they would have just got killed.
They would have got mollywopped. Yeah, I don't think
that. Prime said that when he said Nick Saban asked to play Jackson State, he said no, we're not ready for that yet.
If Alabama played Jackson State, it'd be a murder scene.
And the reason he said that is not necessarily, he said it himself. The skills positions is a matchup, but in the trenches, on the line, they don't have them linemen play. You can get a wide receiver that's going to be dominating it, but now they got a DN that's beating this little kid that you done pulled up out of John Henry Curtis High School. You know what I mean? All day in the trenches now. He said it himself. They need them big boys in the middle.
Now, Action Jackson, no offense, sir, but your avatar, I swore it was Myles Garrett from the Browns. No offense. Yeah, that's your avatar. You look like Myles Garrett. Future Hall of Famer, by the way. Future Hall of Famer. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Guys, go ahead. Ricardo, go ahead. You want to say something?
Oh, go ahead.
So can y'all hear me now? Do I sound better?
Was saying,
yeah, we can hear you.
Let me. I left out a word on my. It was he was the first head coach to come from an HBCU to a Power 5. That's what I tried to say.
Okay.
Okay.
So let me ask y'all this. Y'all think folks are mad because wasn't giving away his last resources, or were folks mad but holding up to the word that he said out his own mouth? We all men. We hold men accountable for what they say out there, right? Is that the reason?
And I just, again, when you say that, what he said, I hear a lot of people say what he said. And mind me if I sound slow. What did he say that is giving everyone this impression that he was there for life? What was the word? Was the words God sent me? That might be true. That might be true. God opened the opportunity for him to go there. But it still levels to this thing.
It wasn't about him saying that he was gonna stay there for life, but when he was talking, those plans take longer than 2.5 years. You can go on your podcast app and watch the I Am Athlete and listen to the I Am Athlete episode he was on, and you can hear it come out his own mouth. I want you to hear it out his mouth.
He also said out his own mouth, "I would be stupid not to entertain an offer from a PWI."
Entertain.
And he entertained it.
By the way.
His words were he would be there he was there to level the playing field with the Alabamas, with the Ohio States, with the Michigans. So one would infer that he was talking longer than 3 years. The playing field is not level. Again, Prime told
that's not what he said. He did not say that.
He did say that. He did say he was there to level the playing field. Those are his words.
He did say that.
Huh? He said that.
Yeah, he said it. He said that. He did say that.
His main gripe was about no HBCU players not getting drafted. That was the big thing.
He said he was there.
Everything.
Yeah, you can. Hey, fam, you can go and pull it up yourself. He said he was there to level the playing field. Those were his words.
He said that.
I didn't say it. He said it.
Guys, hold on for 1 second. Tennessee.
Now, hold on. I'm not holding him to that. I'm the one who said I'm not mad at him for going. But I said that we also should not hang on to these athletes and these entertainers every word and hold them in a God sense because they're not. So when they do leave us, we get disappointed.
I agree with you on that part.
Guys, hold on for a second. Now, this goes back to what I said. Tennessee Stephanie, salute to you. She says, I know broke white folks spend their last dollar to see UT, Knoxville, get a hotel and live 45 minutes away. Big Orange, baby. Shit, we drive after. Knox County ain't going to get us on a DUI. Again, I told you, whites revolve their weekends around football. Are blacks going to do that for the HBCUs?
No, we revolve our weekends around church.
And I lived in Knoxville. They serious about that orange.
Yep.
I lived there before for about a year and a half. They are serious. You can't even find another team with orange anything. It better be them Bulls. I'm gonna tell you that now. And she's right. They be a bunch of. It'd be Bubba Sparks and all of them out there.
Imagine schools. Imagine them states that don't have a professional football team. So imagine, like you say, Alabama is the professional football team for the state of Alabama as well as Mississippi. Them states don't have football. Arkansas, so on and so forth. So their college team, their best college team, is their football team.
Yeah. Hey, Stanford, you mentioned earlier, you were saying with great responsibility, great power comes great responsibility, right? And if I understood correctly, you were saying at all levels, meaning like the director, the coach.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So
each part, each. Let me clarify a little bit more.
Okay.
Each level has a bigger piece of a pie.
Okay.
So they get to see things from a different perspective. So each level will have more responsibility the higher up they go.
Ain't it ironic though that your name is a PWI though, Stanford?
So to that point,
I know, right? I always ask my mother about that. Shit, man.
So to that,
I'm sorry.
She knew excellence when she saw it.
So to that point, would you say that people, black people in particular, have they should join? Would you say they should join the military?
Do I think black people should join the military?
More, like join it more.
We've been in every major war.
No, I'm saying right now. I'm just saying right now, just in general.
That's up to them. We don't live in. Let me tell you something. Hold on. Let me tell you something.
No, this is what I'm going with. This is what I'm going with.
Let me explain you my perspective.
Okay.
I'm also retired military, 20 years. Okay, so my perspective might be a little bit different.
Okay.
So even though you in the Air Force, I was in the Army and the Navy actually. I did both. I did 7 in the Army and 13 in the Navy.
Thank you.
Golly.
So that's what that was.
Okay.
So do I believe that more black people should join the military? I believe that you had the choice to do so.
Okay.
We live in America. You had the choice to go to the military. You had the choice not to go to the military. What's important is that you do something.
No,
that's how
agree.
I see it.
No, I agree. So this is the point I'm making, right? So the point I'm making in terms of great power comes great responsibility, right? And that's why I said I don't put it on him. I put it on the people at the top. So, and I'm not trying to really change the subject. I'm trying to make a point. Right now in this country, regardless of what branch you're in, we're at an all-time low of people not being eligible to join the military and not join the military. Okay. Only 1 out of every 10 people are even eligible to join. Okay. So either it's going to be on us as the people to prepare one another, or we're going to sit here and say Congress is on you to figure it out, right? And so that's what I'm trying to compare it to the HBCU thing. Either we're going to put the people down here, which would be Deion Sanders, or we're going to say the president at the top of the of the school to say, hey, get this done, figure it out. That's what I'm saying, because I guarantee you right now, if I started trying to preach that to everyday people, they're like, nah, I ain't doing that. I don't care about the country being protected. When we're at all-time low.
I'll tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you from a business perspective. Okay. In business, you have managers and you have supervisors, correct?
Correct.
And then you have managers who just direct and they just direct and manage things, resources and people, stuff like that, right?
Right.
But the supervisor aspires people. You understand what I'm saying? Deion was the aspirer. That's what he was. And there's great power in that to have other people inspire to be what you want them to be.
Understood, but there's wealth in the military. What would I always say when somebody's not available? And that's man up.
Well, that's true too.
So
but
if he gone,
you gotta have you do have to man up, but you gotta be able to have the right people there for the man up for you too, man.
And he gave a name. He said, the assistant coach, I've trained him, he's ready. And that's man up.
Yeah, well, they're gonna have
also
to.
Another thing too that could also potentially level the playing field, because we can think of coaches who, like the Coach Carter type of example, right? Where he didn't have necessarily a great team, but he maximized the potential of each of that young men individually to make them into a winning organization or winning team, right? So if we were to say we were to take somebody who has a name, but necessarily not the celebrity of like a Deion Sanders, drop them off into a school like that, and they're taking the students that they have, training them, getting them the proper training, and putting them in the weight room, whatever they need to do, and giving them the fundamentals to make them above and beyond what they were initially coming to them and being great, then we can. I mean, when you see the success stories like that, taking a 0-11 team and turning it into a powerhouse, turning them into a contender, or even taking a team like that and making them go play a Division 2A school or a 1A school, and they get a win or two, somebody's like, oh, wait, hold up, they got something going on there, and they paying attention. It's like the coaching is like, yo, that coach is getting them boys ready. You know what I'm saying? You would have to take something like that if it's not going to be celebrity that do it.
Hey, I'm glad you brought up that example, but like that in that example, Coach Carter was from that area. Like, what you think would have happened if instead of him being Jackson State, him not being from there. But if he would have had the FAMU job, you think he would have stayed longer? Maybe him being around people that he know, him being from that area, from Florida, being able to crew even better, and not have to just have that far outreach and then have to deal with everything he had to deal with within Mississippi, and just had the school just backing him up, that whole area, the community, people knowing him, loving on him, and being from his own hometown. How you think the situation would have played out then?
He probably still would be there, because honestly, they may be like, yo, Deion, you got it. Whatever you need, we got you. You know what I mean? It's hard to disrespect one of the greatest alumni ever from your school. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to disrespect. You kind of just gotta like, hey, you got it. What you need, we got you.
Hey, look at that smile. Hey, look at that smile Shedeur got on his face. Look at that. Look at him. This nigga, boy. That's a nigga. Look at him.
Congratulations. Let's go.
Look at him. Oh, look at this smile he got. Look
She
at
said,
that.
please
He
come to my
on the
house.
white folk. Look at him.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Look at this.
That's hard. Look at him. Boy, these niggas happy, boy.
I heard that white lady say, please come to my house.
He said, please come to my house.
Already.
I heard her inviting him
Hey,
to
I got a quick question. And see what you gentlemen think.
Yeah.
Being that, do you think, I think another thing that possibly could come from this is that, do you think another person like Deion with his resources stuff, you think another ex-NFL player will come to a HBCU and do the same thing?
Yeah, in 50 years.
Can or would.
Will do it.
Not
They all can and can be a coach. Like say if somebody like who was this flamboyant? Like maybe it's like Randy Moss. Yeah,
that's what I was saying. Right, I used that example in another talk with somebody else.
Or
Randy
Jerry
Moss.
Rice.
It would work.
I mean,
I don't think they would have the same cachet. I don't think they have the same cachet as Prime though.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It might be a little higher than
Ocho Cinco.
Even with that,
it
might be a little higher than Eddie George. It might be a little higher than Eddie George, but it's not too many people. There's not too many people out there. You have to remember again, Prime is a showman. He's been a showman since high school.
Yeah.
He was a football player second. He could play football, but Prime is a showman. So even with the reality shows that he had, his ratings was out the roof.
So Brian, me and my wife had a conversation about this. Okay, so like Michael Strahan, right? When you see him, you don't really see like a black dude, right? But when I see Randy Moss, I see a black dude, right? I feel like Deion is more like he's racially ambiguous. I feel like he's white people like him. He's like an O.J. Simpson without the murder.
Yeah. When you see Randy Moss,
yo, did he get his foot cut off too?
When you see Randy Moss, you think Black and Miles. When you see Michael Strahan, you think Cuban cigars.
Yeah,
It's
so
on that
it
level.
gotta
You know
right.
what I'm
It gotta
saying?
be like a black. It gotta be like a black football player like that. It gotta be like a black like that.
Yeah,
like who? Like a Michael Strahan?
Yeah, it gotta be like Deion. Deion is like a Michael Strahan. He's like you don't see black when you see Deion. At least I don't see black.
Did you see them Jerry curls back in the days?
Again, I don't see black. I see a person who.
You didn't see the Jerry curl?
Hold on for a second. But see, here goes the thing. White people would still have wanted Deion to live next door to them. They don't want Randy Moss weed smoking ass to live next door to them. Trust me. Let's be honest.
When
you think Randy Moss like he's Ricky Williams or something?
When you think Prime, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an analogy. Right? When you think Prime, you think Ric Flair. He's the black version of Ric Flair. You understand what I'm saying?
Somebody said it in the chat, and I said it on another panel too. Ray Lewis, I think, is another one of those names that he could go to an HBCU. And somebody just said it, Chief Rocker. But that was also another person I used it. I used the example of a Calvin Johnson, a Randy Moss, a Ray Lewis could potentially go to say like an HBCU, and then the respect that they had in the league, and plus even some of these young players not being alive, probably in their prime, but we know who Randy Moss is, and people use the term "you got Moss," you know what I mean, and probably caught the tail end of his career. Ray Lewis is such his name alone at the linebacker and defense position carries weight to even to today's young NFL defensive type players. You know what I'm saying? As well as Prime. They didn't really get to see Prime, but because everybody compares cornerback to Prime, they probably went on YouTube and looked up to see who is this dude. You know what I mean? Deion
Yeah,
Sanders.
but Ray Lewis might bring murder in the damn locker room or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you might get killed messing with Ray Lewis. I'm just saying on the low.
I'm joking. Go ahead.
Oh man,
he said Terrell Owens.
That was my chaotic moment.
Yeah. Terrell Owens might work. Andre Terry and Terrell Owens is another one. Yeah, I think that could work because all of these is they got connections. They got people that mess with them, celebrity, and for whatever reason, black people like to follow that celebrity, right?
Yeah.
Terrell Owens come pop up and say he go to Southern University and he get a coaching job. You might get like Odell Beckham Jr. come pop up on the campus, stuff like the other celebrities, and that's gonna make people pay attention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The celebrity of it all. That's all. That's really it to come down to celebrity.
You don't have to cam up, Bethany. No. If you are a female, you do not have to cam up. Yeah, I'm simping right now. You don't have to cam up if you're a female. No.
So that's why you wasn't bringing me up when I had my cam on. I was talking to my brother over here. I had to turn the cam
okay. On. Yeah.
Hey. I was up there with my my glamour shot, and he threw me down. I'm like, oh, okay.
These guys, or
then y'all ran out of words or some shit. What happened?
Yeah, guys, it's up to y'all, man.
Question for when
Go ahead, Ricardo.
If we were talking about basketball, would this be a different conversation?
No.
It's the same. It's the same.
Basketball, in my opinion, is different.
It is different.
But you know what?
Really different.
I think watching amateur basketball is more entertainment than watching amateur football. Basketball is fun to watch, like because if you could dunk, you could dunk. And,
I can see that.
And remember, and one basketball was popping.
You must not be from the South. You must not be from the South. In the South,
I lived in New Orleans, and I went to Southern University. I went to Southern.
No, are you from the South though? You said you live here.
I was born in the Bronx.
Okay. In the South, listen.
Woody, I know what you're talking about. I can't watch. Listen, I'm not really a football fan, but I can't watch. I know when I see an inferior product.
Football.
Basketball. I could watch a street ball game and be like, yeah, it's just different. Yeah, but like amateur football, hell no. I'm not watching Harvard versus Yale. Fuck no.
Like
in the South,
a debate you'll watch.
In the South, man, football is king.
Alabama.
I understand because I spent 13. I left New York when I was like 7, right? And came back, and then I came back when I was like 21. So I started getting a little understanding of the culture being in Louisiana. How like I became an LSU fan just off of how the culture was down there. And unfortunately, the Saints during the Aaron Brooks, Mike Ditka, Ricky Williams years, you know what I'm saying? I started really getting into sports. But I understand Texas, them boys didn't play about football, you know what I mean? College football and Mississippi and Bama. The Bayou Classic, I got to see so many of those. I was like, oh, this is a thing. But then when you watch the game, I'm bored.
But you have to remember in southern states where they don't have pro sports, like Alabama, like Mississippi's, that's religion. I mean, I'm born and raised in Alabama. Football is religion down here.
Hey guys,
so basketball is going to take that second seat.
Real quick, it's a lot of people who want to get in. I just need to drop off 2 people. It can.
I'm going to drop off, man.
I'm cooking, so I'm cooking, so I'll drop off, man.
Okay,
go ahead. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Chaotic.
Nice meeting y'all, man.
Get somebody else a chance.
Oh yeah, I'm from New York too, man. I'm from New York too. I'm from Brooklyn.
Thank you so
Brooklyn?
much.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a BX all day.
I know.
Peace. So much,
respect to BK. Respect to the BK.
Salute.
No
doubt. Okay, so if anybody else wants to come in, thank you guys for again, guys. Thank you guys for dropping off. You guys were incredible. The panel has been incredible. The Menace, you are light skinned, so I'm assuming you pledged Kappa Alpha Psi. Keep it real.
I did not.
Okay, you did.
But I am a recent grad of HBCU.
Which one?
Morgan State University in Baltimore.
I've heard of Morgan State. Okay.
Yes. It's a very great gym that a lot of people haven't heard on. Definitely on the rise.
For all you degenerates who don't know, it's not JYM, it's J or G. I'm sorry, GEM, not GYM. For people who are listening in the chat, go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Sorry.
So I was in the band. Yeah, but what I will say when it comes to like the culture, I definitely agree about how band is like a bigger thing amongst HBCUs. What I will say is that I think that has to do somewhat with no shots to any of my other like HBCU people out there, because I know that everybody works hard. As an athlete, it doesn't matter like what sport you play. I know everyone's out there doing their hardest, but like as Black folk, most people do what's best for them, right? So like there's more resources at the bigger schools. So like the elite Black talent, that's where it's gonna go. So I think that's where the culture of like people who are fans, that's where they're gonna follow as well. You know, there was a time when, you know, black people weren't even allowed to go to those schools. They were still playing sports, and that's where scouts had to look to find you know, the Black talent. So I think that, you know, if they stayed there, I know like now it would probably never happen because nobody wants to take the generational L of, oh, let's make the change and everybody go back to the HBCU homes. You hear that a lot, but like from an athletic standpoint, you know you're going to get more shine, more attention from being at the Power 5 schools. If you're really trying to make it to the league, if you're serious about it, you know you're going to try to go there.
Yeah.
Like, because Morgan is the MEAC. It's a D1 school, but like it's FCS, right? It's not considered the same thing as like being in the SEC or something like that. And so that's one thing that I've noticed. Being at Morgan also, like even from an administrative standpoint of outside of like athletics specifically, you see a lot of different people come in there for different reasons and use it as a stepping stone. I've seen that. I think that's a pretty common knowledge for anybody who goes to HBCUs. Somebody does great, only takes a year or two. There was actually a coach here at one point. Morgan hadn't had a winning season in a long time. He came here. We were co-champions, but like it was like the most wins we had in a long time, especially since I was there.
Chaotic.
And boom, he got NFL offer. Like the next year, he was a wide receiver coach the next year. But the thing is though, like and same thing with Coach Deion Sanders. Like people who were at HBCU, there was a lot of people they knew was like they knew that's why he was there in the first place. Like he was gonna, you know, get out of there. Like he was trying to find that coaching spot so he can move somewhere else. Like
the minutes. Hold on for 1 second. I'm pretty sure. Okay, let me read the super chats real quick. Fahim says SWAC basketball has the potential to make it to the tournament in the NCAA. Now, a good coach with some good players will be a good investment. I agree with that. And we have another super chat as well. It's a $10 super chat. It says, "Damn chaotic, can't spell gym." Yeah, I'm talking. I'm looking at cameras, looking at light. I'm sorry. Said can't spell gym. Come on, bro. We gotta do it better. You were my idol. Laugh out loud. Now, the menace, no disrespect, and I mean this with all due respect, but I'm pretty sure there's people who are wondering, and there's no problem. Is that a McDonald's uniform shirt you have on?
This is not a McDonald's uniform shirt. This is a work shirt, but it's not a McDonald's. This is my work shirt, though.
Okay.
I'll just my work shirt, but it's not McDonald's. No.
Okay. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
But I digress into. But what I will say is that, you know, there's a lot of stepping stones that happen from a bunch of different avenues. Somebody do great at an HBCU, then they see it as moving up, as going somewhere else. And what I will say is there's still a lot of talented individuals on every level at HBCUs. And a lot of times when they're doing more than what everyone else is doing, it's seen as like, oh, well, you should be moving on to something bigger and better, which is another university. And I get it. There's more money other places. But when you stay there and you're above average or you're excelling, people see that as noble for some reason. Like they see it as noble. Oh yeah, that's so great of you to really pour into that little old school of, you know, over there in the cut somewhere. And that's just something that I've noticed.
The minutes real quick, and I'm gonna get to JD in a minute, but real quick, let's be honest, man. Let's be honest. Deion Sanders, Shador, they want to be around white folk. And let's be honest, and we know who got the prettier girls on campuses. It's the white campus.
That's where that's another. That's real crazy. The prettier girls. It depends on what your definition of pretty. There's a bunch of beautiful black women. I have not seen
Esther
Esther Row on my campus ever.
Okay.
So
okay.
I can't speak to that.
Okay.
I do understand everybody has their rough days, but I still haven't seen Esther Row. The only Tubman at Morgan is the honors dorm Tubman. So that's the only Tubman I've seen, and I still ain't seen Harriet.
Okay.
But
Okay.
But to that same point, I've seen a bunch of beautiful black women my entire college experience there. That was never in short supply at all. Now, if you want to go to where white women is, I don't blame you. I don't judge. If that's where you want to be, that's where you want to go. By all means.
I just don't see a very foxy little black bitch going to Mary Bethune-Cookman. I just don't see it. But anyway,
it's a lot. It's a lot of.
I shouldn't have said that. JD, go ahead, sir, and then we're gonna get Trigger Mike in. I shouldn't have said that.
What's up,
Go
man?
ahead,
I'm
JD.
back again, man. I appreciate.
Oh, you back again? Hold on for a second. Yeah, that's right. You
me?
are back. Give me 1 second, real quick. Trigger Mike, what's up, man? You just got on the panel.
How you doing? Y'all hear me?
Yeah, Trigger Mike. I know that you did not go to an HBCU. Nigerians typically.
I did.
Oh, you did. Ooh, go.
I did. I went to HBCU for undergrad. I mean,
which one?
Norfolk State University.
How come you didn't pledge?
What do you mean?
Did you pledge? Oh yeah, you did. That's right. Yeah, what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm tripping.
I was like, damn, he
Yeah,
got
right. Yeah,
school on
that's
and
right.
took
Yeah.
my colors.
Yeah.
In one convo. But yeah. I did, man. All my siblings, but you're kind of right. All my siblings went to a PWI. But I mean, my case was a bit different. I went with the first school that sent me a acceptance letter because I didn't want to go to college anyway. I wanted to go to the military, and my parents were blocking because the war just started. So, yeah,
I totally forgot. Trigger Mike, my fault.
yeah, but yeah, Deion, that's the.
So you used HBCUs like they said Deion did, huh?
Yeah. So with the Deion situation, having gone to a HBCU, I'm a bit indifferent because one, I see what he's doing. On the other end, it's Deion Sanders. He's known to be a character anyway. So I'm not gonna try to guess what his ultimate motive is because of who, he pertains himself to be his whole career. This is just who he is. I think this is an opportunity because when I did have an established opinion until I saw his contract. No HBCU is going to match that. I think that's 5 years, 25 million. He's not going to get that.
29 million.
Okay, yeah. So no HBCU is going to match that, not even close. Right? So I think this is also an opportunity to kind of voice the expectations of what we what we want to see from future black celebrity coaches that used to play in the NFL. If you come to an HBCU, it is absolutely a sacrifice. You're going to sacrifice money. You're probably going to lose until you get the top recruits. All right. So your reputation might take a hit as a coach. So you're absolutely going to sacrifice. But I feel like Coach Prime should have stayed to see those first graduates. The first people he recruited, he should have graduated them at least. So I feel like that was really messed up. He didn't stay long enough to do that. And then, it's a big experiment to see that if you were bringing advertising dollars to the school, you were bringing notoriety and increase the profile of the school, get them the necessary training to at least get one person drafted. So we could say it was possible under your system, but he left and now we don't even know. So
we have one draft.
Hold on, guys.
He did
have
one
person from his team make it to the NFL.
Yeah, we have one drafted. James Houston for the Lions.
Real quick, Sage has been waiting. Sage and then
and he had 2 sacks on Thanksgiving Day.
3 in 2 games.
Sage, you're on mute, my good sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. How you guys doing?
What's up, Mr. Lee?
Good afternoon.
Thanks. Hey, Chaotic, how are you? Great discussion today. I just got back inside and I, turned on the tube and I'm listening to you guys and I'm like, it's a good conversation. 2 days ago, I dropped a comment and I don't know who actually sent out the notification or whatever that I saw. And the general gist of my comment was, I don't have a problem with his choice. However, What I do have a problem with is the way we allow ourselves to be played over and over and over by our own people who use us as bait to catch bigger fish. That was my comment. And what I'm saying is that from what I heard is going on this panel today, and I listened to some of the things that Dennis Sperling said last night. The thing is, I think when you as a former alumni, a great player who had a success like he did, and from what I hear from some of the people who commented earlier, that he kind of came with his tail tucked between his legs because when he went to the PWI, they played him off. The thing is that are we as black people going to build anything, or if it's all personal and just for the dollar, we need to shut the fuck up about building community, businesses, or anything else? Because whatever you build, once it becomes successful, there's a world of billionaires everywhere and trillionaire companies. People are going to put an offer in front of you. We lost BET the same way. And if one of you guys ever build a major tech company, they're going to drop 10 billion, 20 billion, 30 billion. They're going to drop a number until they can take it. So we're going to have to decide if it's selfish, if it's all about me, or if it's going to be, are we going to build something for ourselves? Because if we want to build a black community, that's going to take a lot of people being united in a single-minded effort, approaching a multi-pronged problem from many different sides. And see, I write contracts. I do import-export contracts. I do financials, trade contracts for platform trading, financial instrument, anywhere from minimum 10 million up to 100 billion. And 100 million, I'm just trying to work a deal right now for about that to try to piggyback a bigger deal, right? But my point is, I think the university, because he's an alumni, they didn't write a proper contract, because you could write a contract whereby if someone break the contract in a certain period of time, there are going to be so many penalties, you're going to lose so much that they're not going to leave. They're going to have to fulfill the contract. If it's a situation where your integrity is in question, and it seems like we as black people, we have no integrity whatsoever. We'll say things out of our mouth and go back and pull it back later. And I think that's really where the issue lies. The university, they probably trusted him from some of the, close quarters office conversation between the president of the university, whoever is running the operation for the sports program at the time. And obviously with his skills and expertise from playing on different teams over the years and the success he's had, people trusted him. And I think why people are being so are reacting so strongly is because it feels like that there was a betrayal of trust there. Because if you're going to turn around a university, and HBCUs is not just one school, it's a series of schools, but someone have to come in first and lay the groundwork to show you can make a successful program. You can graduate successful talent. They could go on to become not only professionals, but MVPs and Hall of Famers. I remember there was this, I forgot the coach, because I'm not really into football like that. But I watched a movie about when, a lot of the black players in the 60s were being approached by a lot of Southern universities. And there were two white coaches that were battling for a group of guys. And when they got these guys, these coaches took 20 years to build their program. And the coaches that came behind them, they had a bar to reach. Where are we going to set any standards, man? If it's just about the money for you personally, come on, 30 million? Come on, there's no black school that can offer him 30 million. But if we want to build something, you're going to have to sacrifice for it. If I was to be offered an operations position for, let's say, Middle East or Asia, supply chain, and they're having all kind of issues with supply chain, product distribution, losing packages and all that stuff. Bottleneck, shipping getting delayed, ships being charged demurrage because they have to stay in the port 1 or 2 days extra because my trucks can't get to the port in time to unload so they can load. When I take that position, all that shit is on me. I got to handle all of it and I got to fix it. I can't quit in the middle of the job and bounce because somebody give me a better job. And the thing is, in this type of business, your name is your reputation, bro. If he quit once, he'll quit again. They gonna mark him. Trust me. If he fuck up where he's going now, they gonna kick his ass out. Watch.
Pterodactyl, thank you so much, Sage. Pterodactyl,
No
thank
problem.
you so much.
I'm mute up. Thanks.
No, you're good. Stay on the panel too, Sage. Pterodactyl, thank you so much for the membership.
Appreciate it.
And D Johnson, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Says, I'm a limo driver in LA. I drove Deion, greeted him with kindness, and he looked at me with a mean face like I don't exist. But we all black drivers know our people the worst to deal with, shaking my head. Salute, and thank you so much for the super chat. Kappa Kappa Psi, you were next. What say you?
First of all, like I said, I'll say thank you for having me on, and good evening, guys. How you guys doing out there?
Awesome. Are you a trucker, sir?
Great. No, sir, I didn't hear you.
Are you a trucker?
Yes, sir, I am.
Thank you for delivering.
What I wanted to
delivering items.
No problem. Thank you.
So that we can
Thank you.
thrive as people in this country. Thank you so much, sir. Go ahead.
No, what I wanted to say was I don't think that Deion was using Jackson State. I don't believe that. I think like anyone, I call it good economics. You know, but Deion actually he said it himself. You know that he wasn't hurting for money in the first place. You know that was not the case. Now had he came out of Florida State and they had him like that, I could see him making these types of moves like that. But he's used to having money, so I don't think that. And I'm gonna be real with you, just like I'm originally from Chicago. When Doug Collins was coaching the Chicago Bulls, and Michael came to the city, and then
I don't know what happened to the good sir, but I wanted to ask him, since he's from Chicago, is he a gangster? What is it, vice lord, whatever gangs is there? Anyway, salute to he have come back. I see that Isaac is back. We also have Mike Link in the building. Mike, what's going on, sir? Mike, did you go to Jackson State, sir?
No, I did not.
Okay, where did you go to?
I attended a university, Norfolk State University, which is
okay. So you would, HBCU.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. What say you, sir? Would you have sold out like Deion Sanders?
I don't think Deion sold out, in my opinion. I think when it comes to his decision, I think a lot of people don't talk about certain things that we may not see, that they choose not to put on camera. I think there's a lot of political things that are happening behind the scenes that he somewhat have kind of addressed indirectly here and there throughout his journey. I even done a little bit more research where I've seen some video recently of students just talking about the amount of money that the program has helped bring into the city, and how it may not be used towards things like the water crisis that's still going on in Mississippi, for example. And some of the students are still talking about that they got to use water bottles just to try to brush their teeth. You know, I think there's conditions and other things as far as things that we don't know about that aren't being said on the TV screen that have a lot to do with other things he's probably dealt with for the past 3 years, and certain things aren't happening. So it's like this opportunity came up. I can see right here there's only certain things that he can control, and he can only control what he can control. And if city council, the mayor, the governor aren't doing things to address what I like to say to keep the livelihood of the machine going, then what is it to do in a situation where you got this now job opportunity that has presented itself versus continuing to go back and forth with, I would like to call maybe, gatekeepers or whatever, so the machine can keep going. Then what do? Take the opportunity or continue to hit those brick walls? But that's just my opinion on it.
Awesome. Chaotic Truth Live says, give me $5 million per year. I would have rode a bike to Colorado. What's up, Isaac? Salute to you, man. Again, thank you, sir, for coming back. You're on mute, sir. Deuces with the $10.22 Cash App says, respectfully, Mr. Lee, the landscape in collegiate athletics has drastically changed. Prime didn't do what Bobby Petrino did to Louisville and the Falcons. Upward mobility. Go ahead, Isaac.
Yeah, a couple things I just wanted to touch upon that Mike had said in regards to the things that are surrounding Jackson, Mississippi. He's absolutely correct. When it comes to infrastructure, when it comes to the water, there's somewhat of a conflict and a beef that is going on between Governor Reeves and the black city of Jackson, Mississippi, where he doesn't really care about giving all those funds to those to those representatives that are trying to year over year get those fundings. And that probably is one of the things that might have caused him to be turned off by, because he has asked time at a time for them to try to have a conversation, come to the table, and nothing has happened. In regards to the water crisis, as far as using water bottles now as students, that is not true. Students are not using water bottles to brush their teeth. That the water crisis was back in early August, and since has been fixed. In regards to other HBCUs helping out, alumni contributing, and actually getting funding from the state. So I don't want to keep throwing out misinformation that's making my HBCU look bad as a whole. We go through the same water crisis each year. We all know that those fundings come from the state, and we're just not getting them. That money is being held or being dispersed to Brett Favre. Great example.
Oh, I was just gonna say, man, I just saw a recent video of kids. I guess they go to JSU, and a YouTuber, I guess, created a video from asking certain students. 3 particular young ladies had stated something about water bottles to brush their teeth. So they just come from me just trying to do further research and not just listen to what we as mainstream media go. So I think that's good that you have like problem. I do think there's a lot of political stuff that's going on that can also influence. So I mean, if I was put in a position like that, I would have to, at the end of the day, make the best decision for myself and my family and hard way. You might not like it, but I mean, at the end of the day, you want to be comfortable, And when we think about how much he gave up as far as his salary, the other things that went in, it's almost kind of like, how do I get back what I've, not that he's looking for anything in return, but if I put this effort in, why are certain things not being reciprocated within the past 3 years, which may not have anything to do with Jackson State in particular, but when you look at city council, other folks on the outside, and local businesses and stuff like that to try to come together for some collective effort, I think from a business perspective, you're put between a rock and a hard place. And I honestly think his players probably know that. We just don't know that they had those conversations because they choose not to put those things on camera.
Yeah, and one more thing in regards. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, in regards to, because Mike he's bringing up great points, and I think that a lot of his points that he brought up are actually valid and are actually true. In regards to his point regarding bringing the money in from the season, one big thing that has been talked about, and I know that with athletics, our AD is, $30 million was brought into the city of Jackson this year alone with ticket sales and football games. And unfortunately, those businesses have not contributed that money back into Jackson State, and that was an ask that we had, asked for local business to do, and it wasn't received well. They did not donate. So I mean, Mike brings up excellent points. A lot of those points might not be Jackson State related, but they do center around the city of Jackson and the state of Mississippi.
Thank you for the $5 super chat. R-Dub with the says, remember just a couple of weeks ago, one of the same black HBCU coaches said primetime was not SWAC. So now he's Colorado. Omega Green with the $5 super chat says Lee is incorrect. Rockefeller didn't have to forego opportunities for his community. Exploiting those opportunities help build it up. And I will read Black's lexicon. It says Deion needs to understand the college competition at a higher level. Also, what is making our young men getting drafted into the NFL so right? And Sage, I didn't ask you this question,
Sure.
but you are a man of a certain age. You did go to, you said a HBCU, correct?
No, I never went to an HBCU.
Oh, you didn't? So you went
No,
to a
I did not.
predominantly white university?
I went to City University of New York.
Oh, okay.
I'm a New Yorker.
Okay, Sage, let's be honest, man. They want to be around white people. Let's stop. I don't know why we're trying to do this. Let's cut the bullshit. They want to be around white folks. I played a video. Did you see Shador, Sage? Did you see how when he was on that campus around all those white people? He was just smiling. He was like,
Chaotic. That's not true. Them football players that are there at Jackson State University right now has enjoyed their experience. Even the game when they found out the rumors, those players were still happy with the atmosphere that they were receiving from our alumni and our students. And they have said countless times, this experience I have never thought I would receive at a PWI. Shiloh, who went to the University of South Carolina, stated, I never would have received this love from my black people or this type of atmosphere at a football game if he didn't come to Jackson State University. So that's not true.
I bet you if Shiloh went to O State, he wouldn't have said that. I bet you if he went to Michigan, he wouldn't be saying that. I bet you if he was around all those beautiful white women, all those pretty little
What's the
black
difference between
girls,
Michigan, Ohio State, and University of South Carolina? What's the difference?
Civilization and a third world country. Let's be honest. South Carolina? Are you kidding me? Come on, man. Why are we playing games, Isaac? You're talking to the chaotic truth. You ain't talking to a bullshitter. Come on, man.
So you don't think a third world country is in Boulder, Colorado?
Sir, did you see that $150 million facility that them Negroes walked in? That ain't no third world country.
Have you seen what's outside the community? It's nothing but mountains and land and grass. That's it.
And how many? And those people got money that go to Boulder, Colorado.
They do have money. That's correct.
And
that's
that campus has hella money.
But like Sage said, groundwork has to be. Hold on. Groundwork has to be laid. Bear Bryant laid the foundation for Alabama. That's why Alabama is still winning.
Isaac.
It's true. It's true.
Carl Oakley with the $5 super chat says the BC is always for a hero. Deion Sanders did a lot for JSU and HBCU as a whole. I've heard more negativity towards Deion than Black Lives Matter. We must do better. Isaac, let's be honest. I'm a little bit older than you. I'm not that old.
Can I? Okay.
Oh, give me 1 second. I gotta say this to Isaac. I understand, Isaac. You're in a position on at the university. You gotta say all this. I understand. I have fraternity brothers.
I'm just an alumni.
Oh, okay. But sir, you said you were an accountant. That's right. I'm sorry, sir. Isaac, I know you're fighting a good fight. You're gonna sit up here in front of thousands of people and lie and bullshit. I mean, I'm not saying you're lying.
I never lie.
Okay.
Never lie. This is not entertainment.
Let me reword it. I'm not saying you're lying to be malicious. You're putting up a good fight. You're like a Martin Luther King. I understand it, but here goes the thing, sir. Those boys like coochie. And the fact of the matter is, and let's stop. I was 19. I was 20 years old. And I can tell you this. I would rather be on the campus with 20,000 females than 500 black girls that look like Sojourner Truth. It's just the honest to God's truth. I'm not trying to be entertaining. I'm just saying it like it is.
That's pure entertainment. That's pure entertainment. That's pure entertainment.
Ohio State has 25,000 undergraduate females walking around. Those boys would rather be on that campus getting all that love like the Buckeyes do now. I saw how the Buckeyes were treated in Columbus. They could go to Delmonico Steakhouse and they ain't got to open up their wallets for nothing. Come on, man. Who you fooling, Isaac? You ain't talking. Listen, I graduated college almost 20 years ago. Come on, man.
Question though, when you talk about like a school's population,
let's get y'all out of here.
Thousands and thousands of people. Like, what does that have to do with like them being like a bunch of white girls versus like not like beautiful girls are beautiful girls.
The menace.
And being in a
It's
university,
entertainment.
being in the middle of
Entertainment.
nowhere has nothing to do with the haven of whatever that campus is when you get there. It doesn't matter if you're at Ohio State or whatever. Like that college town, everything inside of that college town is going to look pretty much the same as any other college town. It's going to have surrounding businesses and stuff like that, unless you're in like a city.
Sir,
that's not true. That it's right down the road from Denver.
Listen, I went to
but right outside of it, right? Does it look like Denver or does it look like something else? Yes, you can go down the street to wherever, but like where you are, like on your campus is the only thing you care about when you're in college. Like, yeah, unless you're trying to go do something else, and like you said, Denver is down the street, right? If you want to go over there,
menace.
Like you do choose your environment, and the population of the university doesn't really have anything to do with the people that are there.
Menace, hold on for a second. Menace. Okay. I'm a little older than you guys, okay? And I'm from the, in my opinion, the last real generation. See, y'all are Gen Z. See, y'all grew up in this soft, pussy little generation. I'm gonna tell it like it is. Do you know who Maurice Clarett is, sir? Maurice Clarett was one of the most famous Buckeyes that ever played football, sir. He last played in 2002. He didn't go to the, well, he did go to the league, but, sir, he was the most famous person in Columbus at the time, sir. I remember it. What I'm trying to tell you is that those boys, given the opportunity, if they had the knowledge, if they were at a PWI and had that juice, they would never look back at no Jackson State and say, I want to go back to Jackson State and play. Never. Come on. Why we capping?
I challenge you to go to. I challenge you to go to a HBCU homecoming. It will change your mind because you're saying it without any type of like context. Like do you think that there's not? Do you think there's like not females everywhere? Like
no,
on the college campus?
I'm saying, given the opportunity, those boys would rather be at a larger PWI. Yes,
because there's more white women, or because
there's more women. Period. Not just white.
There's more women at most colleges than you could even really get your hands on. At Morgan, the ratio of women was 7-1. I couldn't get my hands on all of them. I didn't run out of beautiful women there either. I'm just saying.
Sir. The menace. Listen. I'm not trying to knock HBCUs, man. God knows I'm not. But what I'm saying is that if let's say I don't know, man. Let's say Mary Bethune-Cookman College. I don't know the student enrollment. I'm gonna guess it's like 7,000. If 4,000 of these kids are females, that means that maybe 10% of them actually look attractive. That's 400 girls. Imagine thousands of beautiful females. Sir, I saw the black football players when I went to school, man. I'm telling you, they don't want to be around no 100, 200 females. They want that juice everywhere they go in the yard. I saw it, man. I saw these Negroes, man. Y'all capping. Oh, y'all, Isaac. Oh, he capping. Come on, go ahead.
I'm not debating the juice of whatever, like you go, because there's going to be more women there. Yes, there's going to be more. There's going to be a bunch of things that come along with being at a bigger university. But I don't think that really has anything to do with like what comes along with like the experience that you have there. Like it's still like, in my opinion, more fun. I've been to like PWI campuses to hang out. I have friends, that go other places. But when they come, especially as black folk, if you bring a black person who goes to a PWI to HBCU homecoming, like it changes their life. Like they be like, oh man, I should just came over here in the first place. Like, okay, and if you're going to school especially if you're going to school for education, like I have plenty of peers who graduated who, if you put them in a lineup, you can't tell where they went to school. They all do the same job, and you just paid $20,000 a year more in tuition than I did. Now, if we're talking about from the athletic standpoint and the clout that comes along with being, an athlete and all of the reach of women that you can have, then yeah. But I mean, having that many like white women, if that's what your desire is, then of course you're gonna want to go there. But like just having women.
Two of my younger cousins already work at Goldman Sachs. You know why? Because they went to the Ivies. I bet you right now, how many kids from Jackson State would ever walk into Goldman Sachs?
I have friends that work there that went to Morgan, so I can't really. As far as I know, like I'm sure that everyone's like reality is a little bit different about that, but I haven't seen results that haven't yielded people going to certain places in their career that they try to go.
You know damn well at the highest levels of society, the Ivies produce at the highest levels of societies, you get the Ivy graduates. Let's be
Well,
honest.
I'm not doubting that the name helps, but to a certain extent, like we're getting to a point in our society where it's like your talent has to speak for itself. Like I know me for specific, right? Like I got an engineering degree. So when they get on the job, like we're gonna get to a point where it's like, okay, I don't really care that you went to Morgan. I care that you can do the job. That's gonna matter. I mean, but don't get me wrong. I do understand STEM degrees are more measurable in what you can produce versus another degree. But
I agree. Let me get Bethany in here real quick, though.
Sure.
Bethany, what's
Can
up?
I?
Bethany, you're on mute.
Good evening, everybody. Hello.
Good evening, Bethany. Are you a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated?
No, I'm not. I never did pledge.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
But I am married to a HBCU grad, and my 2 older brothers went to HBCUs, and my husband's whole friend group went to HBCUs. So and they're very successful. Everybody has done well for themselves. So
go ahead, man.
No hate here. But on the Deion Sanders topic, I do think he brought money to Jackson State. And I talked to a Jackson State alumni today, and she basically felt that he used them and that these Black coaches are using HBCUs to move up. But I told her everything in life is kind of like that, though. Your first job out of college, you're not going to be making your 6 figures. You may make 40, but you have to use that as a stepping stone to get where you want to be. Now, I do agree with Mr. Lee, though. As a people, we have to build something, and we have to start somewhere, and some of that is going to take sacrifice. And with these ex-NFL players having money, we're assuming they're well off years after they retire, it would be nice to say, oh, hey, I'm going to stay here for a few years, get it out of the mud, and help build something. But I do hope the future coach will keep building on the foundation that Deion Sanders laid there. That means having the athletes sit in front of the class. That means them not wearing flip-flops and, socks with their shoes or whatever. Just he groomed them to be men. I'm assuming that he did groom them to be men based off what I watched and what I read. That's what he did. So I hope that the next coach would build on top of that and keep that going, because I really feel that it's just a stepping stone. Let the next coach make a decent salary. Okay, he may be there 5 years and keep building. Okay, let the next coach come there and have a decent salary. Just hire from within. I don't see a problem with that. But I also want to say, as a mother of 2 sons, 2 Black sons, I hate that they keep pushing these athletes are just as athletes. They're also students. When are the academics going to come into play? I think that we need to raise our voice to say, hey, let this athletic scholarship be the building block for you to get your degree and have a future past NFL, because majority of them are not going to make it to the NFL anyway. So that's all.
Well said. Well said.
Hey, can I
Chaotic. One
speak
moment,
real
because if I can just jump in for a second, because I wanted to address the super chat by Omega Green, and I just wanted to clarify if he was talking about John D. Rockefeller, because the Rockefeller has been established for almost a century, and they have foundations all over the world. So I'm not sure what you're talking about with them sacrificing for community, right? And I'm not going to go into how they made their money a century ago, or the Bushes, and there are many, the Vanderbilts. I mean, I could go into the whole history if you want to get into that financial breakdown on how most of America's wealthy families got theirs. That's a different story. But what I'm saying is that if we're gonna live, and the number one thing for us is going to be the individual success, then we cannot talk about building communities. Because I remember a couple of months ago, Anton Daniels was driving through a part of his community where he was considering buying property some years ago, he said. And as he was driving through that community, all of the buildings were bought out by East Indians. There were nothing but East Indians for blocks upon blocks upon blocks. Every house was $1 million, $1.5 million or better. You can only build community with people that have like-minded objectives and are willing to take steps to do that. If I'm just looking out for me, I'm just going to do for me. And likewise, Chaotic, Bethany, and everyone else on the panel. And then when we look back and we see that there's no foundation left for us. Because one of the things I think we forget, and whether it's universities, whether it's medical schools, whether it's bank financial institutions, one of the reasons why immigrants and foreigners who rise up in this community does so well is because they understand about laying foundations. It's not just about the individual. It's about also laying foundation. When I lived in New York, you could go across Canal Street. There are banks, 7, 8, 9, 10 banks, all Chinese bank. There's not a single English translation for the bank's name. It's all written in Chinese. On the other side of the street, it's Little Italy. Everything there, well, Little Italy, they have English and whatnot. But what I'm saying is that if you go out to Bensonhurst, every community you go to in New York, there's a foundation. There's the corner stores, there's the restaurants, there are various types of businesses, whether it's banks, local banks and so forth. The thing is that the community is solid, and people who grow up in that community, they graduate, they move on with their life, they become successful. They can always go back to their community, meet with their mom, because mothers, they stay where mothers stay in one place for a long time. They go back to see their mothers, their aunties and whatnot. But with us, when we go back to our communities 20 years later, there's a new group of immigrants that took it over. There's really no black communities anymore. Every time you go to a black community, 20 years later, there's a new group of immigrants. We don't lay foundations to own things. And that's going to be a real problem, because 25 years from now, 2045, you're not going to find black people are going to be scattered in the midst of Latinos, in the midst of Ukrainians who are coming here, in the midst of everybody. Because you know why? We just care about ourselves. We get our money, and then what we do, we go live in a white neighborhood somewhere. The ones where they'll let us in, if you got enough money to be able to flex, or you have enough reputation and fame, and someone can vouch for you. I mean, come on.
Sage, thank you so much. Tyranny, you're next. Thank you so much. And Sage, you made good points.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I can't be on here long because I'm about to clock out for work, because y'all know Black women are the strongest, hardest working creatures there are out here. So I do know that when you are not, or if your parents are not, or your grandparents are not of the origin of the ones that say they are African American or Black, you do not see any beauty in our culture. I absolutely love, no matter how much of a great profession that I have, I love riding in the midst of the hoods, as dirty and black as it is, and banging my gangsta music. That's my culture. You, Mr. Sage, I feel like, when I say I feel like, that means I'm not trying to use it as an attack word. I feel like you would not like that. I feel like you would think it would be disgusting to listen to hardcore gangster rap music, but I love it because it's a part of our tasteful, sexy culture. I don't like that you guys keep talking down on our culture when every culture wants to be us.
Where did you hear me talk down about the culture?
Yeah, Sage wasn't talking down at all. He actually was. Tyranny. He thought it was actually me talking down on the culture. It wasn't Sage at all. It was me.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. But I know I've heard Mr. Sage talk before. I tried to join the panel the other day because there was a lot of weak women on there, but I couldn't because my internet was acting up. But I just hear a lot of people, and forget people. I just hear you sometimes, Mr. Lee, talk down on the Black culture. I never hear you uplift it.
I'm not sure.
Okay, Sage, hold on for a second. I'm sorry, sure. Sage. Wait a minute. Hold on. This isn't the Tyranny show. Tyranny, what do you think about Deion Sanders? I'm sorry. What? What do you think about Deion Sanders? That's the topic of discussion.
I think Deion Sanders gave the Black culture something. He invested in it, and if he found a higher opportunity, take it. We should applaud him and thank him for contributing to the Black community when he did.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Sure.
Can you do two things for me? Can you put your hands in front of the computer, like the screen, like this? I just want to see something real quick. Can you do this for me real quick in front of the camera?
Since you a visual, because ever since I've met you,
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Can you just do this real quick? Can you do this real quick? What was the first football team Deion Sanders played for?
Why would I care as a woman? But I'm pretty sure it was the Cowboys, right? But as a woman, why would I care? Why would I care what team you play for?
No, I'm just playing, Turney. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm just joking with you. Go ahead. No, I'm seriously. Go ahead.
Yeah, don't disrespect me. No, that's just
your outfit looks very nice, by the way.
I appreciate it.
It's a very conservative look. I like that.
Hey, can I tap in? Can I tap in real fast?
JD, hold on.
Hold on, I got to bow out. Y'all have a good night, y'all.
Let Turney rock out. Hold on. The Menace is about to go to HBCU party real quick. Thank you so much, the Menace. He's about to go to an ice break. Go ahead, Turney. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Thank you so much, sir.
Oh, no, JD had a question.
Hey, I just want to tap in real, man. So, me personally, I don't have a problem with Deion moving on. I'm a Deion fan. Like
JD, hold on for a second. Tyranny has to leave, so let's let Tyranny go ahead real quick. Just finish what you got to say, Tyranny.
I think I was done.
Tyranny, I would just say this, right? I'm not sure how often you do tap into Sage Talk on Sundays, but I never talk bad about the Black community. Ever.
Well, the Black women are
you can go back and look at. Say again.
Black women are the Black community,
and that's why we don't have one.
You just said you don't talk down on the community. Now you're saying there's not one. I'm confused.
Well, I was talking to you because you're capping.
I don't wear hats.
I was speaking to you directly.
I don't wear hats.
Tyranny, thank you so much for coming through.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. When has gangster rap been sexy? Said Stanford. Thank you so much. Give me 1 second, JD.
What is Tyranny?
Gavin. Gavin, what's going on, Gavin? Salute to you, sir. Positivity is definitely
what's going on, brother? Nice to. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Yeah, nice to have me up, man. I definitely appreciate it. Prime time, right? He got 30 million reasons why he left. I would say. He got to bring his son with him. He gets a better opportunity to further his career, right? Black people are looking for a savior, man. You know, as we always are, I guess. So, like you said, how long was he supposed to stay? 20, 30 years? He ain't, Joe Paterno. You know what I mean? That wasn't that. So, Black people wasn't supporting it like they should have been. Everybody's still talking about Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State. This is all, we still salute and praise these colleges, but at the same time, we upset with prime time. Makes no sense. So, hypocrites.
Gavin, can I ask you a question?
Hey, listen. I'm gonna tap in because I want to get my son some food real fast. Me personally, I don't think the people are as upset as people think that they are with Deion Sanders. Me personally, I'm a big Deion fan. I played cornerback. Shit, when I played, shit, he was the reason why I do the Deion shuffle and hot step into the end zone. But my thing is, sometimes, we all probably been in a relationship, relationships, you hold people accountable, right? Now, I'm not, my thing is when you say things about that you want to change the HBCU platform and have it on a high level, right? And my thing is this. I'm glad, matter of fact, let me say this. I'm glad Deion went to go get that money, okay? So this is not, I love Deion. But my thing is this. When you come into Jackson State, because people keep saying that he used Jackson State, I don't think he used it. I think it was a mutual relationship, because for anybody here got a business, if you say you got a t-shirt business, you're going to partner with influencers to get your product more eyes on it. So I think that's what Jackson State did for Deion, and I think Deion got something out of it by being a head coach at a university. So he got something out the deal. So did Jackson State. That's no problem, right? Now, I love Deion, but I just want to say, why can't we just why can't we just love the person, but then why can't we just hold them accountable? Like, I'm a football person. I watch NFL all the way to the motherfucking the lingerie league. and everything in between, arena, all, college, HBCU, all that, right? But my thing is, I feel as though it's a problem, like the white people are taking our talent and making money off of it, right? And they've been doing this shit for years. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing it for years, right?
And then we complain about the contracts when
No,
you get
no,
effed in the
let me
butt
get,
about the contracts.
let me get there,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm gonna say Jackson State fumbled the ball as well because not only is the contract was screwed up, but Jackson State or no HBCU can match $30 million, $5 million a year. We all know that. Jackson, Mississippi, probably not even worth fucking $5 million. To be honest, no disrespect to anybody else from Jackson, Mississippi, but what I'm saying is that I just feel as though he was changing the HBCU platform because some people that had never heard of HBCU, never went to an HBCU, was putting their eyes on some of the games. Like I've been following HBCU football a long time. I've been watching all the classics, the Celebration Bowl. My school is playing against my old school is playing against Jackson State in the Celebration Bowl this year, and they've been to the Celebration Bowl 3 times. Haven't won one. No, they won 1 time. But anyway, so the thing is that I do feel as though he was changing HBCU culture, right? Because he was saying that he wanted to level the playing field. You can't level the playing field in 2 years. People, and then, he was getting all the recruits in the Jackson State, right? So just like Alabama, because for a while, if you know anything about football, for a while, Alabama was on the kind of shaky, right? When Nick Saban came in, they started winning championship. It made the SEC want to go get recruits so they can go beat Alabama because nobody that watches sports want to see the same champion over and over and over again. That's why they want to see the Patriots get knocked off. You know what I'm saying? Like dynasties last for a while, but the good thing about sports is who's going to knock off the big dog, right? So of course,
Exactly.
for a couple years, Jackson State was going to dominate. But a lot of people don't know Grambling, they was getting 4-star recruits in there. FAMU, they was getting people from the portal from Alabama and the big schools to come in because nobody want to see Jackson State year after year keep beating up on this competition. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, when it comes to HBCU football, the talent is there. What's not there is good coaching. I played HBCU football. We had fucking terrible coaches. The talent is there. There's some talent there. Some talent. Darius Leonard, one of the top linebackers in the NFL. You probably heard of this year because he hurt. I want to make another example. Last year in the Celebration Bowl, when Jackson State lost to South Carolina State, the Kobe Durant, number 14, the cornerback, right? He was already an NFL prospect, but when he got ESPN eyes on him at a big time stage, he was a 4th-round draft pick in the NFL. 4th-round draft pick in the NFL. I'm gonna give you another example on that same game. Shaquille Davis, wide receiver, number 1, South Carolina State. He did Jackson State corner so dirty to the people on ESPN who was tuning in and the commentators like, who is this guy? That happened because of Deion Sanders. So then you start trying to get all these new recruits in. So people want to, all right, man, I want to play for Jackson State, but shit. Not only do I want to see Jackson State win, I want to go to Mississippi Valley State. Jerry Rice went there, and we all know what Jerry Rice is, number 1 wide receiver to ever play the game. Walter Payton, one of the best running backs to ever play the game. I just think that I got so many towers about this because I went to a black college and I went to a white college, and when the white college is good, but they use our talent. And it's like when we did it, everybody have a problem with it. Now, I do not agree with people calling him a sellout because he did not sell out. He did what anybody what a lot of business do. They use influencers, just like Nike. They use Michael Jordan to promote their brand. If it weren't for Michael Jordan, who the fuck knows where where Nike would be at? So
they would have been bankrupt.
So did you
did
you truly think? Did you think? Not to cut you off, but did people really think HBCUs were making a comeback? Or should we be waiting for
we would honestly, bro, we would never know because it was,
it's too young.
It was kind of short lived, bro. Like
right, change take time.
Listen,
to change the mind.
It take more than one man. It take more than one man.
Right, exactly.
But listen,
I agree with that.
You're right. It do take one, but this, what's crazy about that situation? Sometimes people always say it starts with somebody. It gotta be one person to make the change. Now everybody's saying, well, we can't put all the pressure on one man. Honestly, me personally, I love Deion, man. I promise you, the guy, swear to God, I do. But I think as an influence, you got to watch the things that you say. And when you say things like, I want to change the HBCU culture, not only for Jackson State, but for all the other HBCUs, you put that pressure on yourself. Now, if you would have came in on a different narrative and said, listen, bro, I love Deion Sanders so much. I watched his press conference. when he got to JSU, and I watched his I Am Athlete. Go to I Am Athlete with Brandon Marshall. He said this. This is something he said out of his own mouth. So if you now listen, if you would have came to Jackson State and said, listen, I want to turn around this program. I know it's been in the dumps for 5, 6, however many years, and I want to change the culture here at Jackson State. Man, they would have rolled out the carpet for Deion. Said, now I understand the slander, but I don't understand the slander because he did all he can do. Now, let me mention one more thing before I go. Now, where I feel Jackson State from the ball, I'm not a Jackson State alumnus, but this is what I heard here on the internet, right? I mean, of course, we know the salary, but also I heard all that money he was bringing in, you know, them TV deals and all that stuff. From what I heard, I don't know if there's any truth to this, and anybody would be frustrated that the money that you bringing in, you're not even getting a portion of that money. So that's like you already taking a pay cut, and then I'm bringing in revenue, and then you know, not only the revenue that I'm getting paid, I got to put it back into the school, but the revenue that I'm bringing in, y'all not even giving me that. So,
but
for that,
I would say this, right? That's a contract negotiation. That's like me getting signed to if I go back when I work on Wall Street and they want to give me a salary instead of $280,000, they give me a salary for $160,000 or $180,000, and they give the rest to me in stock shares or stock options, and I get to buy Apple at $10 per share vested in 3 years. I would take that's a deal. That's how you make deals.
Yeah.
If you don't make the deal in the beginning, you can't say give it to me now because I'm making money, I'm producing, I'm showing you what I no.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to negotiate the deal. And my problem with Jackson State is they didn't make the contract in a way where they would at least get enough commitment out of him at least 5 years. If they would have got a good 5 years, he would have been good.
Bro, anybody would have been a fool to think that Deion Sanders was going to stay at Jackson State for fucking 10 years. Like, you would have been a fool. When he showed up, I said he going to get these boys 4 to 5 years. He going to wait till his son graduate and move on. Because people don't realize that Shedeur Sanders was committed to Florida Atlantic University. So people will tell us he don't want to he want to go play for Colorado and them white boys. He could have just stayed at FAU. He could have stayed at FAU.
Real quick, we're gonna start a petition. Me and my buddy, we think about starting a petition. We want to bring back the Negro League baseball and ABA basketball. We're just gonna go full circle. We're gonna bring it all back, you know.
But I'm saying, like, when people say he wanted, what I'm saying is when people say he want to go play for the white folks, maybe he do, but he already was signed to FAU. And sometimes I'm gonna land on this point because I really gotta go. Well, sometimes in college football, right? Even though your exposure to you is, with all these TV deals you've seen on TV and all this stuff, but there's so much competition to where it's like sometimes being a big, like, it's a big pond out there. Like, you can tell big time football is a big pond. Not everybody make it through the cracks. Only the top of the top make it through the cracks. So sometimes going to a smaller school where you could be the big fish in a little pond, in a way, can help you. It depends on how you view it. In my opinion, I could be wrong. We all entitled to our opinion, but we all know, like, I'm a Miami fan, love Miami. We fucking suck. But it's like people still want to go to Miami because it's based off the, historical value, whatever the case may be. But my thing is sometimes going to a bigger school is not always the best for some athletes, because Alabama, some of them players, they had to wait 3 and 4 years just to sniff the field, So sometimes you might want to go to a smaller school. Like my man Kayada, he went to Kent State. Kent State is okay. You know what I'm saying? The MAC is okay. You know what I'm saying? But how many players from the MAC going to the NFL?
FKI.
You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, the people I know from
HBCUs got scholarships. Do they give out scholarships at HBCU?
It depends. Yeah. It depends. If you D1, like D1 AA, like Jackson State, FSU, I think they give out 65 scholarships. Now, if you D2 HBCU, they don't do scholarships. What they do is they put you on like an academic scholarship. Because I played D2 and D1 at HBCU, so it's different if you at because how the NCAA eligibility clock is, it runs different from D1 to D2. So that's
here's my thing is, why are we? I think we're putting too much emphasis on the sport of football alone. If these young men are continuing,
football is an American sport.
Well, listen, here's my thing, brother. What's the percentage of these guys going to the NFL? There's too many of these guys playing football. So we should just be happy they're getting this education. That's my point. Are they getting scholarships? Why can't we just be happy with that?
But that's
why do we think all these kids? Why do we think it's possible for all these kids at HBCU to make it to the NFL?
I don't think I know, but not every player that college, big time college football makes it either. They just get a greater opportunity.
I think what we can do is sure. Go ahead. Finish it, Katie. No, what I was going to say is I think what we can do is raise the prestige of the HBCUs. You know, college the sports program is what bringing the money. You know, whether it's a PWI or whether it's HBCU, it's the sports program that bringing the money, they're bringing the advertisement, they're bringing the television, and that brings business into the community and the cities around it, man. And then now the college will have more opportunity to be able to bring in better teachers, improve the college, expand on the college, build more campuses, specialized building, whether it's medicine, technology, whatever. The thing is that we have to focus on like laying foundation and really building the things that are important to us. And sometimes that's going to take a little bit of a sacrifice. Not much. I'm not telling somebody to give up their whole career, their income, but I think where the community may not have supported his program so much in terms of giving back from the revenues that came in. Like black people, sometimes when other black people do things, we got to kind of like watch him and see. It's like if he's pulling a scam, what's going on here? We need to see that he's going to really follow through on some consistency, which was the same thing we did with Obama. It wasn't until the white people really started flowing with Obama that black people said, "Oh, okay, and we jumped on it." So I think too, performance is something that has to be consistent. It's no different than when Kevin Samuel said that if to be considered a high value man, you have to have a certain level of income consistent for a minimum of 5 years or greater. As a top performer who I've been in sales 22 years, and the time I was on Wall Street, I would say I was a top performer for at least half of that time. And when I say top, first, second, or third, every year, top producer.
Man, everything you said is facts.
Can I pose a
Go ahead, bro.
All right. One thing that y'all said, or that you JD, is like you gotta like watch what you say. And I really think what we're overlooking as far as like what's going on in the decisions that's been made. Y'all really got to back it. Like there is politics behind the scenes to where you have to assess based on these political barriers and things that need to get done. How can you project, or we're not able to predict how long that's going to take, how they financially the nitpick where they want to put money at. Now, if you really look at as a man, that if you're in that, you got to say to yourself, it's just going to take 3, 5, 10, 20, based on these meetings that I'm having that the public don't know that we're. Is this going to allow me to do what I need to do in order to help elevate not just ASU, but trickle down to the school? Now, if it looks like it's going to be a long, hard road because there are people who don't really agree with the route on how money is going to be spent, then what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, no, that's facts, bro. I mean, when these HBCUs go play these big time schools and get blown out by 40, bro, it's like, what happens to the money? Like, and Deion did a good thing at Jackson State when he exposed how bad the HBCUs was doing business. Like he did things because he gave, in my opinion, more HBCU coaches the confidence to go. You might not land a 5-star recruit, I mean, only Deion can do that, but. He did do something that I thought that was genius. It was like, bro, he exposed the bad deals that's been going on in HBCU football for so long. And maybe if the bad deals wasn't being happening in the sports, because he was absolutely right when he said this year that all these HBCUs went to I think Alabama State went to go play UCLA. Now that from Alabama State to UCLA, probably I think they got 300,000 for that. They went there and got spanked by like 40 or some shit like that. And then it's like, so then you get this big check, all your players come back hurt. And then, but the money goes to the school instead of the athletic department. Like same thing with I'm a Miami fan. When they was winning championships, shit around the school was building. The facilities got better. They start bringing in more. So it's bad business being done at HBCU football and HBCUs in general. And I mean, we all could test that whether you went to an HBCU or not. It's, the thing that hurts the HBCU more, they're not getting a lot of money. So when money is missing, it's being noticed. When you go to USC, when somebody's been probably, I bet you somebody right now, USC Trojans, has been stealing tens of $1 million on a yearly basis, but you would never know because all the revenue is being brought in. Like, I mean, man, I mean, everybody, man,
right. I mean, if multi-million dollars is coming in and you're skimming off the top a few $100,000 or a couple of million, it's not going to be so easy to be perceived,
right?
You know, but if you only bringing in a couple of $100,000 or $1 million or less, you know, every 50 grand that's gone, it's going to show up. And
Man,
I think, yeah,
facts. Not even 50 grand, probably 20, 30 grand. I don't know. Every penny of HBCU dollar is as a valuable penny. They can't miss nothing.
Here's what I'll say, Chaotic. I'll say
you're muted,
HBCUs
Chaotic.
were bad. Are you muted? You muted, brother. Was you talking?
You're muted, Chaotic.
Oh, no, I was going to say I got to shut it down with like 10, 20 minutes. But go ahead, Gavin. You got the floor.
All right, cool.
I was going to say HBCUs were bad before Prime got there in like sort of bad shape. You could go get a decent education, obviously. And they're trending better. I think more people need to help out. I see a lot of people slandering this guy, and they're holding him more accountable than they hold their own fathers. Like, come on, man, give me a break. A lot of black men. He's a black man.
They don't know their own fathers. They probably know more about Deion than they know about their fathers.
Can I ask you guys a question real quick?
What Deion did, what their fathers did.
Can I ask you guys a question real quick?
He dipped.
Can I ask you guys a question? Is there an economy for soccer in America? Like,
No.
okay, so for
Definitely.
example, are people driving in their cars to go to sports bars, arenas, paying for parking to watch soccer?
No.
They're starting.
Okay.
Not to the World Cup. No, hell no.
But they're starting because they're starting in smaller cities now. Like I'm from St. Louis, right?
Okay.
We're getting a soccer team, and they didn't get this soccer team. It's a nice stadium, and it's going to generate so much impact within over the next 5 years.
All I'm saying is, now I'm gonna take Isaac's word for that because I wouldn't know, but I'm gonna take his word for that. But all I'm saying is this: in my opinion, I think it is very dangerous for top recruits to go to HBCUs because you're going to kill the market for whites who are not going to watch HBCU products. They're just, and I'm not trying to up whites on a pedestal. I'm just saying, like, they don't have,
People said the same thing about Black Panther, though.
Bro, the white people kill.
No. Black Panther, again, is not a black movie. Black Panther is a science fiction, a part of the Marvel universe.
No, but it's just where all the actors were black.
If
and that
Black
was part
Panther,
of
the Sage. If Black Panther was independent of Marvel, whites wouldn't watch that. It's a part of the Marvel universe. That's why it's so popular. It's within the universe. That's why it's so popular. If I'm telling you, if that was made by somebody else as an independent film, it would have made $10 million. It's not a part of Marvel if it wasn't a part of Marvel. Go ahead, guys.
Chaotic, what I'm telling you is this. You made a statement and said that if I was a top recruit, I wouldn't go to HBCU because I wouldn't be comfortable there. The difference in that statement and what Deion was doing was that he was actually making it comfortable to be in Jackson. I really wish you guys could see the smiles on those football players' faces and some of them were just so surprised that this was even a school. HBCU even had the atmosphere that it had. So it's kind of hard for me to just continue to sit back and allow people that went to Kent State to say this about HBCU because you've never been to a HBCU. And I don't want you to go to HBCU during homecoming. I want you to go to HBCU during convocation when we could tell you about our history of our school. That our school is 150 years old, and you can see that the culture is not only just not just sports but academics. A lot of these HBCUs are top ranked in their state in different programs. So we have to take a step back and understand that Jackson State is actually ranked number 2 in the state in engineering programs. And that's a fact.
Well, I mean, it's Mississippi. I mean, come on. I mean,
We have Ole Miss and Mississippi State, one of the top.
I mean, how many
schools.
universities are even in? Okay, I'll take your word for it. I apologize. All I'm saying is that you're gonna kill the market. Okay.
The black market been killed since they started recruiting our players.
But Isaac, give me a second. I know it seems like I pedestalize white people. I know, but I don't. All I'm saying is that from the perspective of economics, I don't see whites going to the football. I don't see whites going to the Mary Bethune-Cookman college football games. I don't see them going to the sports bars. I don't see them watching the games on ESPN1. They didn't grow up watching these teams, and it's going to take generations for them to fall in love with these teams. That's why it needs to be, if this is going to be an effort, it's going to have to be an effort at full scale. Other than that, Negroes cannot afford $20 beers, $50 parking every Saturday. They're not gonna pay for it. Yeah, they pay for a homecoming game, or they may pay because Deion Sanders is the coach there, but they're not paying.
They're paying $80 for merch for a T-shirt online.
Chaotic. It's so much that you state that it's not factually true. I told you back an hour ago when I first on here that if you take a look back at the attendance record for football games at Jackson State University, we have led the FCS for 5 straight years before Deion got here. So now it's 7 straight years. It's not true. You're making statements, but it's absolutely not true. And you have to understand that. Okay. You have to understand that the things that Deion did. We're talking about how can we shift the narrative. The narrative was getting shifted, but it got dropped. That's the whole thing, man.
But Isaac, so I know you say what you said about my school, but I've been to O State in terms of there during a game, there during the weekend. Hotels are filled up.
They have the number 1 players in the nation.
I know, but sir, what I'm saying is
they're black.
Our HB, I know that they're black, but what I'm saying is that will HBC? Okay, so in Jackson, Mississippi, are the hotels filled? Are people? Yes. Oh, okay. Every weekend, right?
Every football game, yes. When we have football game, it's at least 40,000 people in the stands. We hold 55.
Okay. How much are the drinks? How much? Okay, when you go to concession, how much is the popcorn, hot dogs? How much is that too?
Drinks are $3. Hot dog, a burger might cost you $5, $6.
Are black people gonna pay $10?
We sit in our stadium, eat chicken on a stick, catfish plates, all that. Yes, we pay money.
Okay. I'm just asking questions. I'm not trying to. I've never been to an HBCU football game. I just haven't. I just been to predominantly white universities, and I've seen how football culture is. And I'm not gonna sit up here and knock HBCUs while I have somebody who went there. So thank you for telling me that. I didn't know that. I'm just trying to. I just have never seen a sports bar filled with people saying, "Hey, bartender, turn it on the Martin Luther King game real quick." I've never seen that.
Yeah, we're not televised.
I've never seen them say Harvard either.
Yeah, we're not televised.
Back in the day, it was on BT. Back in the day.
Now you can hold on for a second. We have,
but they sold it to
ESPN. ESPN has streaming services now. All you gotta do is ask, "Hey, can we turn it on the Medgar Evers football game?" All you gotta do is ask. Nobody asks. Everybody wants to see the Big 10, Pac-12. Everybody wants to see the big. Oh, I'm not Isaac. Come on, man.
I wish you could have went to a Jackson State game, so you could see all those that became fans.
I was thinking Universal, but I knew it wasn't that. I apologize, guys. Go ahead.
I was just saying I wish that Chaotic could have experienced a football game when you could see all those bandwagon Caucasian folks that come to those games that he's speaking of, the ones that when Mississippi State is losing so bad that they don't even go to Mississippi State games in Starksville, they come to Jackson to our games because they know they're gonna get a real show and a good game because Mississippi State sucks right now. So I mean, it's just it is what it is at the end of the day. It's 2 different worlds. It's the HCU world and then it's just the PWI world. Kent State.
But Isaac, let's be honest. Yes, sir. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. You know as well as I do at HBCU football games. I don't know.
I don't know. I know you don't know. So I can't say you can't make this thing.
Okay. I know this. When I've gone to white football games, the people are paying attention to the game. You can hear them. Oh yeah, he's 44 for 55. I can't. Why would he do that? I don't. Are blacks like that at those games, or are they waiting for the band to play?
No, we actually have real rivalries.
Okay, so if I go to an HBCU football game, will I hear people talk about stats and analyze the game?
You definitely will.
Okay, I didn't know that, sir. Okay, thank you so much. Okay,
where are you? Are you in Ohio?
Yes, but here goes the thing. When it seems to me when I've attempted to watch HBCU games on TV, it just seems like there's people not paying attention to the game. It just seems weird to me. It just seems out of I could be wrong, sir.
I don't know. I don't know your family dynamics, but going
It's
to an
not about
HBCU
family.
game. No, no,
Go
no.
ahead.
Listen. Okay, I'm not going by family. I wouldn't do that.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know your family dynamics, but when you go to an HBCU game, it's almost like a reunion, and it's a reunion whether it's against the other school or your
Thank you,
people you
Sage.
went to school with. So
Thanks, guys.
all right, Sage. It's actually really entertaining to go. It's not just about football. It's hearing old school songs. It's hearing the band. It's seeing the little kids act like they're Sonny the Tiger and they're performing like they're one of the drum majors. Man, it's Greek strolling. You know, it's a regular undergrad student seeing his auntie who went to school. It's more than just saying that. Oh, wow, I don't see chaotic. Life is more. Life is more about enjoying life and just looking at the criticism of it, man.
Okay,
That's all I'm
okay.
saying.
Listen, I didn't know that. I've never been to a HBCU football game. So
But
thank you
until
for
you
letting me.
go, you have to watch the message that you're giving, because now the message that you're giving is saying, why would we go to HBCU game? Because it's not even, we're not going to get a good game, or it's not even good players there. Yeah, those good players are
No,
actually at
you're
Alabama.
really now, Isaac. Now you know you're not gonna get a good football game if you go there. Now you know that. Now come on. Now let's be honest. Jackson
Hey,
State, if they played O State, they would get
hey,
mopped 200-0. Come on, let's be honest.
hey, Colorado University, tickets holders was selling their tickets, so they didn't even go to their game. So I mean, they just went to another school that didn't sell tickets either.
But Isaac, now come on. Now you know I look. I didn't play organized football, but I have eyes. I can tell good football product and bad football product. Again, I've watched the Ivy Leagues play, and I can't watch no more than 5 minutes before I turn the TV on. I said, I can't watch this. It's inferior. Now I watched them do a mathematics competition all day. I've watched HBCU on TV. It's trash football, man. Look. It's trash, man. The coaching is trash. The gameplay is.
What is compared to?
What's up,
to what we're comparing it to, you're absolutely right. So,
yeah, it is.
But what game have you seen though?
Go ahead.
If we're comparing it to like high school football, then we'll say okay. But if we're comparing this to fucking Ohio State, come on now, it's not the same product. We cannot act like that. So, but if you're a genuine football fan, maybe you can enjoy it. If you're really a all-in football fan, but even then, because back when I used to be all in, and I couldn't watch it. So, unless I knew somebody playing.
Go ahead, Isaac. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, I don't have anything. I'm good.
Okay.
Here's what I'll say. Can I say one last thing before I get out of here?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
My thing is, to the brothers out there, I've been losing a lot of respect for brothers these last few months, seeing how we're reacting to the media and what they're doing. What you got there? All right. And see how we doing brothers like Deion Sanders. Here's what I'll say. You got guys on Facebook, right? They're sitting here, they're condemning Deion Sanders for what he did in one post. The very next post, they're talking about let's go Ohio State, let's go Alabama. The hypocrisy, man. It makes my stomach turn, man.
All I'm saying is this. I would love for the HBCUs to succeed.
No, you wouldn't.
But
you want us to be with you just said it. You want us to be with the white.
Nah, I think you do.
He ain't even been to a game. How do you donate back to HBCU if you want to succeed? Now we're gonna dive into a whole different other way.
Hold on a second. I'm talking about the actual institutions, and I'm not just talking about. We already know Morehouse, Howard, and Hampton are the elites. But what I'm saying is Spelman. But what I'm saying is that it's a culture that I see, right? And again, not to sound like a broken record, but when I go to the sports bars, I hear people. I listen to people. I see the O State. I see the Michigan. I see the Alabama jerseys. I don't see the Ivy Leagues. Nobody's there wearing Coastal Carolina. Truth be told, nobody's wearing UNLV. People want to be with winners. And unfortunately, these big ass schools have a tradition of being superior and winning. It's going to be very hard for people to say, hey, honey, grab the kids. Let's go to Buffalo Wild Wings, get some wings and some fries, and let's get a beer, and let's watch the Mary Bethune-Cookman College game. I just don't see that, sir.
You're not going to see it, chaotic.
Huh?
Our best black athletes are going to these schools. I don't think you understand that. Do you not remember when black people couldn't even play at Ole Miss? Do you not remember that? So
Sir,
all our
I
players are
wasn't
going
born in
there.
'84. All I know is black athletes playing. But what I do know is this: the best athletes that I've seen have come from Ohio State, Michigan.
How many Hall of Famers do Ohio State have? And how many do Jackson State have? Can you answer that?
Since
I
what
don't know.
year?
How many?
Since
How
what
many is it?
year?
We're not talking about years.
How many is it? I'm
We're not
asking.
talking
How
about
many
years.
is
We're
it?
talking about
I don't
traditions.
know.
We're not talking about years. We're talking about traditions.
That's true. And nobody's killing tradition. I think you know what I mean. Two things is true here, right? Like there is tradition, just like I said before. You know, like the ABA and the Negro Leagues. Like there is tradition. That's not to be disrespected, but at the same time, we all must understand that it's never going to make that comeback that we think. You know, it's just
Yes, unfortunate. But that was a message that Deion was trying to convey. That was what he was trying to do, though. Can we agree on that?
I
Which
agree,
is why
and
people
here's
in
my thing.
Jackson
I say to
are
that.
disappointed.
I agree. My problem is we believe people too much. We know who Deion is. We know, and not to say he's a bad brother. He's a decent brother, but we
I think
can't
he's
trust
good.
nobody
Yeah.
to that extent. Like
Now,
we're looking
according
for
to
Jesus. That's what it is.
According to what I've just researched, Ohio State has 10. I thought it was way more than that in the Hall of Fame. I thought it was way more than that for some reason. And Jackson State has 4. So, okay. Isaac, go ahead, man.
Well, that was time. You have to do that again in 40 years from now, 50 years, and the numbers will be so lopsided.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, I would love for HBCUs to win, man, but
You want a shirt, chaotic? I'll send you a shirt, man.
yeah, that'll be
Jackson State
fun.
shirt.
I would rock it. I would rock it. Send me a small. I would rock it. But I'm not over here trying to dog HBCUs. I'm just telling you what I see. And what I saw, Shador, he was smiling from ear to ear. He wanted to be around white women. I see. I already know what it is. No, come on, man. We know it's the. Why are we playing, man? We know it's the truth, man.
We don't know that that's the truth. That is really your entertainment to say. That is not a true statement, man.
Okay, all right, here we go.
It's not a true statement. It's not a true
Here
statement.
we go. Gavin, what's up, man?
There's some truth. There's some truth in that.
All right.
Hey, but I appreciate you for having me up, brother. I'm gonna get out. I know you got to go. It was an honor, man.
Hey, Isaac, thank you for giving me some smoke, man. You know, thank you so much, man. I'm glad it wasn't an echo chamber. Gavin, thank you so much for coming through. Guys, thank you so much for the Super Chats, Cash Apps. You know how I could get guys. I could be very offensive and very informative and very entertaining. I'm so glad you guys came out. Again, guys, please, if you have not subscribed, please do to the Lapeef Network. This is the greatest YouTube channel on the mean streets of YouTube. Thank you guys so much. I will be back next Tuesday and probably for another political show. But guys, check out that situation in Indonesia, by the way. That radical law that has just been implemented, ban on premarital sex. You go to jail. So if you are a foreigner, even if you're a foreigner, if you go over there and you try to get some coochie and you ain't married, they hauling your ass to jail, American or not. Let me see. Infamous says I have no chill. Let's see. Black Lexicon says at least at local JS black businesses in the community benefited financially from the team. I doubt that happens at big league schools. Let's see. But guys, look, I'm not anti HBCU. I just don't see it, man. I just don't see people going. Never mind, guys. Guys, have a good one. Peace. I'm out of here.